All right, Friday night Krug show, bottom of the pint. Johnny's going to be alongside. We are going to drink a few beers. I'm drinking a little hazy IPA tonight. Going to watch the Giants put a little wager down tonight on the game to make it all that more juicy. So join us right now. The Krug show, Friday night pint. I just heard John knock on the door in the green room. This is going down. All right, we're off and running on the Krug show. I should turn the game down so you don't hear Krug and Kipe in the background. Giants going against the Braves tonight. John Lund is in the green room. We'll check in with Johnny here in a second. Welcome to the Krug show, though, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. Bottom of the pint is our Friday night extravaganza. John and I drink beers as we watch the Giants. And the only rule that we have is you got to be positive. You got to be positive. The Giants, by the way, left to right tonight. Bailey behind the dish. Hayden Birdsong on the mound. Chapman at third. Adames at short. Fitzgerald at second. Dominic Smith at first. Elliot Ramos in left. Jung Hooley in center. And Yaz in right. And my guess is Wilmer Flores DHing. And on that note, we welcome in John Lund. Johnny, good to see you.
It is great to be seen. I'm just flipping things, and man, what a lot of changes. I mean, we I was out of town last week. We had something going on the week before, so it's been a couple of weeks since we did the bottom of the pint. But my God, the changes that the boys have gone through, and Buster, I'm trying to get the game on right now. That Buster have gone through and everything, man, crazy.
Well, I am tonight. I'm going with I got a 12er of this, so I'm going to be drinking these.
Oh, that is so good.
The hazy IPA.
Good call. That is so good. That's such a good.
It did me right last week. I liked it. I got 4 or 5 of them left. And basically, if the Giants hit one out, we chug. Kev's going to put up a super thing. Once we get to a certain number of supers, we chug. If the game, we can also change the rules as we go, but we chug a couple times.
That's what we do, right?
That's what we do. There you go. Look at that. The perfectly tall pour. That's just a good-looking beer right there as we get things rolling.
I gotta go fast forward here. I'm behind.
Let me see here. I paused it there to see the lineups.
Okay.
So let's see where we're at. But the Giants, I took the Giants tonight. I wagered on the Giants tonight.
Very nice. That's fun to do, right? Bottom of the pint, hanging out.
Exactly.
Got the orange on tonight. Very nice.
The Giants were plus 120. Plus 120 tonight. So I just feel good about the way they're playing. I'm
a big Hayden Birdsong guy. I mean, I've been singing his praises and get him in there, get him in the rotation. So I'm under a little bit of pressure tonight. But like you said, we've had some bad luck as far as scoring. But the way Robbie Ray's pitching and the way that Webb always pitches, and to get somebody like Birdsong to be that real number 3, I think could be huge for this team. Roop, the way he's pitching, could be a 4. Verlander, I always thought was a flyer, so maybe he's a 5. And then that leaves Kyle Harrison to me on the outside looking in. And after Dominic Smith fails at first base, but we're being positive, and Bryce Eldridge comes up and maybe he's not ready, then that gives him ammunition for first base, right field, second base, wherever they can get a bat. I think the rotation's set. Plus, you and I both know, and everybody watching knows, that they can sign pitching here. They just can't sign hitting. So go out. You have excess pitching clearly. This pitching staff is way too good to waste. So go out and get some sticks, man. But I like what Buster said the other day when he's like, it's time. And he's kind of got that authoritative bit about him, like, it's time. Let's go. And it is time. It's overdue, actually.
It's June.
Yeah.
It's funny. I did this show with Marty last Saturday. Marty's like, hey, let's do a post game. Would you like to do a post game?
Would you like to do a post game, Larry?
And I'm like, yeah, let's do a post game. So then we're like, of course, the topic, as it always is in the post game, the Giants can't hit.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then immediately it's like, what are the solutions? And because I don't know, I have no insider bias. Nobody's whispered to me, hey, this can't happen or that can't happen or this is the way it goes down here. And you always know, you can tell. That's the one thing about the Giants. You can tell at this point. There's all this incestual stuff going on with the Giants. It's like, well, we can't get rid of this guy. We can't get rid of that guy. This guy's got pictures of that guy, and that guy's got pictures of this guy, and it just seems like they've got all these sacred cows.
Right.
So my first comment is, what the hell, DFA Lamont Wade? He's got one home run. He can't hit a lick. He's not getting better. He's getting worse. He plays an offensive position. He cannot hit. And it's not like you drafted and developed him. It's not like you signed him to some multi-million-dollar contract. Banish him and go get yourself a better first baseman. Marty's first reaction, no, can't do that.
What? This was last week?
This is last Saturday.
Oh, my God.
He's like, can't do that. He's too important to the club. I'm like, Marty, come on, man.
Lamont Wade Jr.? He said Lamont Wade Jr. is too important to the club?
Yeah, as a pinch hitter. He's like, well, I got to keep him as a pinch hitter. And he did have a 4.29 pinch hitting average. But, I mean, so what? It's like he doesn't have power. He doesn't have speed. He doesn't have defense. It's like, what would you say you do here? And it's just he had to go. They went with Dominic Smith, and already in a very short amount of time, Dominic Smith has already made a decent impact. He was with 3 for 4 yesterday with a RBI, or I guess it was a Wednesday. He's Dominic Smith is he's nothing great, but he's better than Wade.
Well, I think what it shows is there's a timeline here at first base, and I think also in right field for Mike Yastrzemski, who I like Mike Yastrzemski, man. He just made the final catch of the inning, but he's a fourth outfielder, and I think what we're starting to see, I had never heard of Daniel Johnson in my life, but he got a couple of hits his first. But what's starting to happen here is Buster saying, okay, Mike Yastrzemski's not going to cut it and right. The backdrop being, you've got a catcher who you're not going to take out and is hitting, 176 or whatever the hell he's hitting now, and you're not taking him out of the game. So you've got basically a pitcher in the lineup. So you got to fix first base. So the timeline here is get rid of Lamont Wade Jr., pick up Dominic Smith. They found the best veteran in the minor leagues that they thought they could find, and he was on the Yankees and had a June 1st opt-out. He opts out, see if he can give you anything. In that time period, maybe you buy yourself a month. You look down at Bryce Eldridge. There's a reason he went to AAA, and you say, okay, can the guy play now or not? I know he's not ready, but based on what Buster said the other day, they may not have the time. If he's not ready to play, then you're closer to the trade deadline, and now you're not going to get completely ripped off, because for everybody screaming and yelling for a first baseman, I'm with you, brother. But the reality is you can't go out and get one right now without having to give up Hayden Birdsong or something really, really good, and everybody has flashbacks of Zach Wheeler, so they don't want to do that. So I get it. It's timeline. It's Dom Smith. If that doesn't work, it's Bryce Eldridge. If that doesn't work, then they're in the window to be able to trade for somebody. But as that's happening, Krug, right field's a problem because Yastrzemski's doing what he always does. He's a roller coaster ride. First base is a problem. What happened to Fitzgerald's power? He has 2 home runs. Like, he's not getting it done. So I think the entire right side of the Giants is up for debate because you can't do anything about Adames, obviously. You can't, Chapman's Chapman. Ramos is fine. Lee is fine. So right field, first base, second base, you got. I think you need 2 bats. I mean, this pitching is so good, Krug, and this bullpen is so good that you could be a contender in the playoffs with what they have pitching wise. But the bats have got to catch up, or you're going to waste it.
Yeah, and they got to be aggressive. They got to be aggressive. I think this is not just another year. This franchise has been down for a while. They got a shot here. It's a new regime. I don't think you can just say, it's just another year. I think you got to go for it. I think you got to be in a little bit more go for it mode. So, I don't know what that means. I don't know exactly what that means. We don't know who's going to be available. I'd love to see them add some middle of the order bat just because their middle of the order is not very strong. They're leading off Ramos a lot, and you got Lee up top, so their top of the lineup looks pretty good. But when they get to 3, 4, 5, it really is a struggle. So it would be nice if they could find at least one hitter that could hit 3, 4, 5 for them. I mean, we'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, and look, there's going to be guys, and I did this on my show the other day. The part of the problem is the very thing that allows the Giants right now, they're on a 93 win pace, and to get that third wild card, the very thing that allows him to have hope for the playoffs is the very thing that hurts them in the trade market. There are 6 teams that are hopelessly out of it right now, right? Colorado, the White Sox, Washington always is, the Orioles are, whether they want to admit it or not, right? Atlanta's kind of on the verge here, but there's like 6, 7 teams. And so you got to pick from those teams, right? your Ryan O'Hearns of the world and your Ryan Mountcastles and your like that's what's available. You want to go try for Luis Robert, or you want to try to see if you can resurrect Andrew Vaughn. I mean, that's okay. That's not really going to be the answer, but that's what's being offered right now. As we get closer to the deadline, which is why I'm talking about them buying time, all of a sudden, teams are going to start to go in the tank. You and I have discussed Rhys Hoskins. Milwaukee's not trading Rhys Hoskins. They're like 9 games over 500, and they just won 9 of 10. He's not going anywhere right now. If they swoon, though, then he's possibly available, and that's a difference-making bat. So, that's what you're coming down to is, it's kind of a flawed system, because really what you'd like to do right now is go to Milwaukee and say, you guys are out of it. Stop it. Like you guys aren't adding anything. Just stop it. You've lost too much. Give us our guy back. He's a Northern California guy. I'm sure he wants to come back. He's got a mutual option for next year. Oh, by the way, I'm talking, and look at this. Here we go. They're already on the board, baby. They're already on the board.
No.
Yeah, they're on the board. You're behind. They're on the board, baby.
Oh, I am behind. I have first and third with one out.
We got to drink. I got to go get a beer. I got to go get like 3 beers.
First and third with one out. I got the Jung Hoo line.
Sorry.
Wait a second. Am I behind here?
Yeah, you're behind, bro. They're up 1-0, man. They're rolling.
1-0. Now, how did they get it? Wait, I missed that. Wait a second.
Yeah. They just got a base hit. Jung Hoo Ramos scores. Jung Hoo lead a third, and the Giants lead 1-0. No outs, by the way. First and third, no outs with Chappie aboard. So I'm sorry that I was ill prepared, but it'll take me 10 seconds. I got to go to the garage fridge.
Right.
Hang on.
I will start the chugathon with the first hit. Now the first hit, we don't chug. Well, for the first run, we don't normally chug an entire beer, but we'll get a good pull in. All right. Not bad. Hazy IPA. I got a 12er of it. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's hit a couple of the supers, by the way. We also, if we get to, I believe, 25 supers, we chug. We've got Fuji Simeon in the house. He says, no grill cam? If the rule is to be positive, SI's number 1. We don't have to be positive. You don't have to be positive. We're just trying to be positive about the Giants. You can be positive about anything, but we're just trying. No negativity on the Giants. And we made the rule at the beginning of the year when we figured there'd be lots of negativity. Fuji Simeon says, just don't rush Bryce Eldridge. Risk developing him, i.e. Marco, or devaluing him, i.e. Marco. Talking about Luciano.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
played a little first base down in the minors. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if Bryce Eldridge gets hot and you want to bring him up to DH, that's fine. But, I think what you're going to see is that he's going to hit 089.
Probably. Yeah.
With terrible defense. I mean, he can't play defense. So he's got to hit.
And his first 2 games, so he has, a single and a granny, right?
Oh, they didn't send Jung Hoo there. Should they have sent Jung Hoo
on the fly ball? What are you doing?
It was kind of shallow.
Come on.
A little on the shallow side. 1-0 Giants.
Yeah, probably not. That's a straight
feeling
shot.
Good, but I do have
he'd be dead.
A C note on the Giants to win 120.
So, that's a good bet. Up 1-0. You're feeling good.
Feeling good. I'd love it if they could get an early run. I'll say this: I love Orange Friday.
Oh, dude, so do I.
Orange Friday. There's something about the energy in the park. It's a different energy on Fridays.
Everyone's gassed up. If they go to the park, because I've done this many, many times, you go from work, you decide you're going to go to the game, you go from work, you meet buddies, you do happy hour, you get all lit up, you get gassed up, you get fueled up, and then by the time you get to the game, you're in a great mode. There we go. See? Dom Smith, professional hitter. Dom Smith, professional hitter.
Dom Smith, the center,
that's what you
long
do.
Drive.
That's what you do. Fly. Not going to run. What does Lamont Wade do in that situation? Lamont Wade Jr. pops up to second or strikes out. I mean, that's just I'm not saying Dom Smith is all that.
It's not late night. It's not late night yet.
It's not. I mean, that's where I would have great exception with the great Marty Lurie, who is the great Marty Lurie for a reason. But they needed something else. And to put something, just as far as the and they're up 2-0, by the way, very nice. Put some of this on the Giants, though, because what they needed to do with Lamont Wade Jr., quit banging your head against the wall. Like, he should have been down in the minors. He should have been in Arizona. He should have been working on his mentals, as Marshawn would say. He should have been working on his swing. Needed a totally different vibe. Yeah, hey, let's just keep throwing you out there and hope for a different result. Didn't Einstein say that that's the definition of insanity? Like, he's got to go somewhere else. Get him out of there. Get some different coaching, and then so they're not completely blameless in this whole thing. I mean, Wade sucked ass. There's no question. And there you go. But still, they have some culpability for that. They didn't do anything. They just said, we'll just keep trying. Keep trying.
Adames now you get first and second, 2 out. Right now, I would love a 3-run bomb.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
3-run Johnson right now would just be absolutely fantastic. Make my Friday night. By the way, today is my youngest kid's 16th birthday.
Oh, come on.
So Christopher's 16. 16. He's great kid. We took him out for dinner.
Where'd you go?
We went down to a place in downtown Walnut Creek.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone to Pig and a Pickle, of course, the title sponsor of the Crude Show. But I had to do this show, and I couldn't make it back in time.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I had to go somewhere local. So we went to a place in downtown Walnut Creek. It's called Mellow.
I haven't been there, but I've been to a lot of places in Walnut Creek. Go there all the time.
Oh, it was really, really good. Really good. Kev
Mellow?
found it. Yeah, Mellow. It's right where the Lark Creek Cafe used to be in downtown Walnut Creek.
I know where that was.
Which was another spot right there on Locust. It's right there on Locust. And we sat outside. It was a beautiful night. Had a singular cocktail and did did the homemade pizza. Sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, onions.
Dude, that sounds so good.
Bell peppers. Wife went with the salmon fillet on top of like some looked like asparagus and some potatoes.
It's going the healthy way. There you go.
Christopher went with the
birthday boy.
Yeah, the homemade meat lasagna.
Oh,
they bring it
lasagna,
to you sizzling in this ceramic bowl.
That sounds so good. By the way, bases loaded for Pat Bailey hitting 194. Breaking open, baby.
Let's go, Bailey.
Let's go. All right, keep going. Sorry.
Benjamin's working at Lenardi's tonight, so he's like, Dad, get me some dinner. So I love
your
what
kid
do you
voices
want?
are legendary, Dad. Man.
Everybody's they're very ungrateful. It's an ungrateful group of kids too. And he's like, Dad, get me dinner.
Comp, man.
Like, what do you want? He's like, what's Christopher getting? I said, he's getting the lasagna. He's like, yeah, that's good. I want that lasagna. That lasagna is freaking great. So I got him a lasagna, and because this kid eats like a monster, I got him an entire side of bread and garlic butter.
Oh man, how good is that going to be?
So it's like a gigantic box of bread and this huge lasagna. So this kid's gonna come home. Bailey,
nice.
Bailey.
They get a pass ball there.
There we go. Look at that.
Hey, if you know it's a very wild pitch when Wilmer Flores can score from third base. 3-0 Giants, 2 out. Bailey at the dish, second and third on a 2-1 count.
This is exactly what I wanted to see.
And the thing is, I keep waiting for Atlanta. I'm like, Atlanta's going to be good. And then I watch Atlanta. I haven't watched them a ton this year. God, an error. Bad. They're just making a lot of mistakes, man.
So I got a buddy who makes a lot of cash, right? He's a hedge fund. He manages a hedge fund. Okay.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, seriously. This guy makes a ton of cash. And he's got multiple homes all over the country and this and that. And I was just texting back and forth with him earlier today, and I'm like, dude,
Pat.
I've got my show with John Lund tonight. We're going to be watching the Giants Braves. I wouldn't mind putting some money on it, but what do you think? Who do you like in this matchup? And he's like, I took the Giants big. He said the momentum
for a hedge fund guy to say big.
Yeah, he said the momentum shift 2 games ago was huge, coming back from 5-zip down to win 6-5, and then it followed through yesterday with a comeback win from 2-zip down. The pitching matchup tonight's pretty even. He said, and an aside, this Willy Adames signing was one of the dumbest I've ever seen. His defense is worse than his offense, and we are stuck with him for 6 freaking years. He said, Giants bet looking. He just sent me a text right now. He says, Giants bet looking good after 1 inning, 2 errors, wild pitch, a walk, Giants up 3-zip. I took it big. Thanks.
The Adames thing, I don't know if you saw this. I'm doing a piece on it right now. So Harold Reynolds does this whole breakdown on MLB Network on Willie Adames and why he struggled. And they do the very simple thing of, see, he's hitting these balls, and they've been home runs in Milwaukee and other places and all these things. The thing he doesn't take into account, it's not that Adames is hitting well at Oracle Park. He's not. But where he's atrocious, his OPS is 100 points lower on the road. He's not hitting anywhere. So Reynolds does this whole 5-minute piece on how Willie Adames can't hit at Oracle Park and how, basically doing the same old, it's Oracle Park and no one can hit in Oracle Park and it sucks. And he was stupid to sign here. And look at these home runs that are, caught at Oracle Park and not, and we get all those things. He's in about the same amount of at-bats. He's got an OPS that's 100 points lower on the road. Hey, Harold, what do you think of that? Like he's hitting terrible. This isn't just this isn't you've been oracled. Like yesterday, Fernando Tatis hits that ball, bat flips it, and there's Jung-Hoo Lee making the catch, which is the illustration of why they'll always get pitching here and they'll never get hitting here unless they trade for it mostly. But I don't know what it is with the Adames, man. I don't. People can say he's pressing this and that. Okay, you press for a month. Now you're a professional. Like, I don't get it, because if you want to blame somebody, and we can blame Pat Burrell or whomever for the offense, even though they're up 3-0 right now, to me, it starts with Willie Adames, because he was supposed to be a middle-of-the-order thumper kind of a guy. He knocked down 112, hit 32. Even if you don't get that, let's say you come to Oracle, okay, you hit 20, and you knock in 80. We'll take that. Like, that's cool. You hit 240, 250. We'll take that. He's not doing any of that, and he's not doing it on the road.
I mean, the bottom line is, the bottom line on this thing is that most free agents bomb. So you got to go. Point. You got to go into the free agent market really, really, and be very, very careful. Now, I'll say this: as bad as Willie Adames is, and he's been horseshit.
It's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been absolutely horseshit.
Everybody can envision this big pile, because that's what he has been.
He's just
he's been a pile.
He's just been terrible. He's a good attitude pile of crap right now. But as bad as he's been, I'd rather have him than be the Arizona Diamondbacks with Corbin Burns. Did you see what happened today?
Oh God,
Corbin Burns,
wasn't that the first thing on your
right-hander, is set to undergo Tommy John elbow reconstructive surgery, ending his season early. It's year 1 of a 6-year, $210 million contract. I was one of the people saying, sign that guy.
Me
He
too.
went to St. Mary's.
Absolutely.
He went to St. Mary's. He's durable as hell. He's durable. Bottom line is, none of these guys are really durable. If you throw hard at all, you're going to – almost every pitcher is going to be susceptible to injuries. So don't – if you spend $200 – could you imagine the mood today if the Giants just had – if Corbin Burns had been a Giant and they signed him to 6 years, 210, and he's out for the next 2 years because of elbow reconstructive surgery, because you're always out a full year, and then you're out another year where you're not very good. So, and you're paying him boatloads of cash, and what, he's going to be better coming off of that? No. So, it's like, oh, my God. I'll say it right now. If I'm the Giants, I would never again sign a free agent pitcher unless he was my own guy and there was some real compelling reason. Otherwise, I'm letting them all go. Gausman, Rodon, all these guys, any of the guys you got, including Webb, I don't care. Let them go. Let them walk. Don't pay them fat. Go find guys in the draft. And if you're going to go spend big money in free agency, go get position players. I just think it's safer.
Yeah, the Burns thing is really a killer. And the thing about it is, too, and what comes up in the Giants' advantage is Adames makes a play. So there you go. We're through 2 for Hayden Birdsong, 3-0. No hits for the Braves, but they do have 2 errors on the Giants coming up at the bottom of the second. The problem would be with an Arizona. So you sign Burns to the numbers that you just said. They can't make that up. They're not major market. And that's the same thing with the Giants. The Giants are major market, but they don't act like it. So when they have a signing like that, they're not going to go out and replace him. Like the Yankees will go, oh my God, we just lost Corbin Burns. Who's next up? And they'll just get themselves a replacement. They can do that. The major market teams can. The Giants can. They don't. But Arizona, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because that's a team that's going to be in the wild card chase. They just lost their best pitcher. Who are they going to replace him with? Well, in the short term, just like we were just talking about with Lamont Wade Jr. at first base, they're going to try to, patch it up with a little bit of, duct tape or whatever. But they're not going to, at the deadline, add some big name pitcher. That's not their market. That's not what they can do. So it's devastating anytime a team loses a player like that, but it's double devastating when you're a smaller market team and you can't replace them. You took all that money. That's why, like, if you want to blame Buster Posey if things don't work out, that's fine. But at the end of the day, he has to go beg with like a cup in his hand. Can I have a nickel, sir? To the Giants around that big table to get money. And let's use Willy Adames. If Willy Adames stinks, do you think that Buster's going to be able to go back to that table and say, I want to get another bat and pay another, what's Adames' contract? $100 and something $million, $167 million. You think that the Giants ownership is going to okay another $167 million or something for a hitter? They won't, because they'll be shell shocked because of it. And teams like the Giants and the teams like the D-backs especially, they can't replace mistakes like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Mets can. It's a big disadvantage.
No, there's no question. I mean, everybody's got a budget. I mean, their budget's somewhere in the upper middle class. They're richer than most teams, so that's all I'll say. But as far as Burns goes, I mean, the guy had a 2.66 ERA in the first 11 starts. He looked good. It wasn't like he was looking bad. But now, and they signed him after a fourth consecutive All-Star appearance. He's 6 years with Milwaukee, won the Cy Young in 2021, dealt to the Orioles in 2024, and then signed with the D-backs this offseason. But, I mean, this is a crushing blow. I mean, it's, here's the question I would have. Sometimes, like, if you'll see, like, good basketball, I'm thinking of basketball, and you'll say, oh, man, this team's really good. What do? Oh, they make the extra pass. They make one extra pass. And I almost feel like the better, smarter teams kind of back it away. They back off like by one move and they look down the road a little bit. Like if you're the Giants in July and let's just say you're on the borderline of wild card contention, but you're over 500 like you are right now, do you look at this thing through kind of a macro view and say, hey, man, we got a lot of young talent coming. And let's trade a Verlander. Let's trade a Robbie Ray. Let's go get some prospects to add to our mix. And let's take another shot at it in 2026. Or do you say, no. Let's do what Farhan always did, which is we can't send the message of we're giving up. So let's either do nothing or let's add to the mix. I mean, because they've got Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray could be in the All-Star game. He could start the All-Star game. I mean, Robbie Ray, if you wanted to part with him, you could get a lot. Ramos with a single to center. But, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Good.
I'd
be stuck on that one.
Do you stay with Verlander? Do you stay with Robbie Ray? Or do you say, no, you know what? Let's bring up Whisenhunt. Let's give his rotation spot to some kids, and let's see if we can turn Robbie Ray into a top-tier prospect that can hit 3, 4, 5. I bring it up because the Orioles have Adley Rutschman behind the plate. The Orioles obviously think of themselves as a big-time team. They're going to need some help, and they've got this catcher from Venezuela in the minors named Samuel Basallo, and he's a real hitter. I mean, this guy's a real hitter, and that's what the Giants really need to pair with Bailey as a left-handed hitter who's a real hitter, who plays a couple times a week but can hit like 3, 4, or 5 in the days that he plays. It's going to take a lot to get a guy like that. You're not getting him for nothing, but you might be able to get him if you're willing to move Robbie Ray.
I think this pitching is so. I don't know what Buster's thinking, but he goes back. He's hiring a lot of friends around him. He's trying to bring back the good old days. He's got Bobby Evans. He's got that big. I don't know if you saw John Shea's piece. They knocked out a wall. They all hang out. I think he's kind of harking back to the old days, and the old days are they just need to get in. And I think that's probably Buster's philosophy. If we get in, especially with this pitching, especially with this bullpen, who knows? And I think that's why he's saying that it's time to go. I think he wants to build an offense that can at least be decent with this pitching staff because this is such a good staff. The guy that I would move, and I know people aren't going to like it, but I've been saying it, which is Kyler Harrison. I think Kyler Harrison is a really nice pitcher. I think he's going to end up in the bullpen. He's got a nice 2-pitch mix. I like the rising fastball. I like what he does, but I don't think he's got it from a starter's perspective. I just don't think he has enough variety in these pitches. And, this may not be the move, and people may want to vomit on this, but honestly, the perfect matchup team for the Giants to trade with is the A's. The A's have a bunch of young hitting. They have no pitching, literally no pitching.
I just saw a rumor yesterday the Giants would trade for Rooker, but didn't they just extend? Didn't they just extend Rooker?
Yeah, but they extended him for A's money. I mean, it's $66 million. I think over 5, and I just don't. That's not prohibitive. I don't think, but maybe the Giants will think it's prohibitive. But if I could add it. I'd put him in left. I'd move Ramos over to right, and then Yastrzemski gets to be in his real position, which is fourth outfielder. And then we just saw a bad at bat from Fitzgerald again. I'm getting a little sick of that. He's a great athlete, and I'm waiting. And he was the guy that almost hit 20 home runs last year, but he's been nowhere near that player this year. So I think they have to do a lot of work. But
Giants threatening, by the way. Giants threatening 2 on, 1 out. Ramos on second,
and there's Flores.
And Jung Hoo just walked. So you have first and second, 1 out. This guy Schwellenbach, it's like there used to be every team would have like, hey, he's our guy that throws 98. Now there's like one guy on every staff that doesn't throw 98.
Dude, I watched Flores.
You notice that everybody throws 98 now.
I was watching Cubs and Tigers just because Skubal is pitching against. So the Cubs have the best record in the National League. The Tigers have the best record in the American League. So I'm watching Skubal pitch to the Cubs. Skubal's like in the 7th inning, and he pulls out a 101 in the 7th. And I'm just
crazy.
Like, are you kidding me? So what happens with Skubal? This is how Verlander used to be. Like he'd start you 95, 96 in the first inning, and his velocity actually increases. And he's throwing the ball late in the game against the Cubs with that offense over 100 miles an hour. That kid is ridiculous with a hammer curve and a changeup, the way he's got it going. That was fun to watch that. That kid can bring it, man.
Flores up with 2 on and 1 out against Schwellenbach for the
what
Braves.
Happened to the Braves staff? My God, man, Schwellenbach.
I've watched this guy all night. All he does is throw 98. 98, 98, 98.
Sounds like some sort of
I remember when
beer
the
from
Giants
down
had
south. You ever had a Schwellenbach? Oh, it's very tasty.
I never had
Oh, come on. What are you swinging at, Wilmer?
Remember when they used to have Rob Nen and he'd throw like 98, 99? Now it's like everybody.
Even the Giants pen. Rogers was standing. You can go when he's healthy with Hicks. You can go Hicks going over 100. You could go, Rodriguez going over 100. You could go Duvall. I remember you and I just to sit around and be like, could you get some power arms? What's wrong with you guys? Everybody else is power arming it. They can go 7, 8, 9 power arm, and then put Rogers in there to just screw with everybody.
Tremendous.
Those are too. We're positive. We're positive. They're up 3-0. But you got a strikeout from Flores and Chapman with a little tapper. That's what's been killing them this year, man. Like you're on the verge. You're up 3-0, and I feel great about things because we're positive. But it's like you're on the verge of being able to blow this thing open, man. And you got Flores and Chapman up. Those are 2 of your better hitters. And you got to strike out in a tapper back to the mound. Like, come on, man.
Seriously.
Killer.
Chapman is so bad with runners on. Have you noticed that? He's just terrible with runners on. He just can't hit with runners on base.
Yeah, it's really.
Let me see his splits. Let me check out the Chapman splits. They're not good. He's hitting 241 on the year. Let's see his splits. 227 against the lefties, 231 against righties, 191 at home, 291 on the road.
He's 100 points down at Oracle. Wow.
Yeah, 100 points.
I get it, but 100 points. Yeesh.
286 in March, 185 in April, 284 in May, 263 in June so far.
Yeesh.
So we'll see.
That's brutal, man.
Let's see what he is in the situations here. Where is it down here? Okay, so with nobody on, 250, 365 on base. With runners on, 231, 350 on base. Scoring position, 237, 338 on base. Bases loaded, he's hitting 500.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue, right? Is that they just have a bunch of guys who are really streaky. I like Chapman, but he's streaky. I like Yaz, but he's streaky. And Bailey doesn't hit at all. Like it's they have in the lineup right now. This is why we were talking the other night. Like I'd like Pat Burrell a whole lot, but if a bunch of guys in the lineup are struggling, then Pat's got to go because you just need a new voice. And I was thinking to myself, how many Giants are playing above where you thought they would play offensively? And that is Ramos, right? Lee's about where I thought he should be, and Flores. So really, Ramos and Flores are, I think, the only two Giants who are playing above their level. Everybody else is playing, I think, where they should or below. I think where they should is like Lee. This doesn't surprise me. I mean, they signed Jung-Hoo Lee for $112 million, whatever it was. So he should be playing this way. Everybody else, you got two guys playing above, one guy playing at, maybe Chapman's at two or close. Everybody else is below, and in some cases way below. And that's when you got to start talking about your hitting coach. Like, what's the approach? Like Lamont Wade Jr., what did you do to try to get Lamont Wade Jr. out of his slump? Because you didn't send him back down to Arizona to try to work on things. You just kept him here and said, let's keep running him out, banging our head against the wall. Like, that's not good. That's not good. They're up 3-0.
They always show. I'm a sucker for the kid in the stands who gets the foul ball.
Do you have a philosophy?
I'm emotionally. I become emotionally invested instantly in these people. I'm amazed. They're immediately. I'm watching that stuff.
By the way, Birdsong is rolling. He just
Birdsong
blew a fastball with 97 down the
97 four-seamer away.
That was nice. I tell you, I thought this would happen. He needed a start or two to kind of get reacclimated, to kind of pace himself for starting. And I thought by about the third start, and this is his third start, that he would start, really honing in. And he is bringing it. He looks nice tonight, man. He just threw a 98.
Oh, no, he looks good. What do you think of those shoes? He's got these black shoes on, but they're wrapped in the back with like an orange wrap that almost doesn't look like it's part of the shoe. It almost looks like it's part of a part of a sock or something, doesn't it? It doesn't look like a shoe.
Just like the guy with the beer me hat on. That's pretty hilarious. If you're a little bit behind, you'll see it.
The fans they keep showing now.
You kept saying like Friday nights are a little bit wild, and they are. You're right. I'm not going to say it's like the 16th hole at the Waste Management or anything like that, but I mean Friday nights are they're loose, man.
Are you talking about the stadium course, the Phoenix Open?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a scene.
I mean, man. It's Nick Allen, the former light hitting.
Dude, I was hoping the Giants would have got this guy. This guy's tiny as hell, but this guy can play.
He just can't hit.
This guy is a gamer, though.
Yeah, no, he's a good defensive guy. Gamer. The good defensive guy, but yeah, just Fridays are loose, man. Fridays are if you're gonna go to I love day baseball. I go to every day baseball game I could. But he just that was just so unfair. He just threw an 81 mile an hour sinking curve to Nick Allen, and this is one of the worst swings I've ever seen. Like,
Birdsong's got
fastball. Oh no, not fastball.
He just pulled the string on him. Birdsong's got a strut, dude.
He does.
Like if you were on the other side, you would hate Birdsong because he looks like I'm damn good and I know it. And I don't even shave yet, but you're sitting down. You're sitting down.
So he came out with us on the patio. It was, I think, right after his first start or whatever it was, first appearance. I can't remember what it was. And so I got a chance to talk to him because we were off the air. I was sitting in that chair closest to him, and we were just talking a bit. And so he grew up in a corner of Illinois that you're either a Cardinals, White Sox, or Cubs fan, and he grew up a Cubs fan. And so he in that town he grew up in, it was just bred baseball. And the kid came up at 22 and he acted, sometimes you get rookies to come out and talk to you and they give you like 3-word answers and you go, oh, damn, this is going to be a long interview. I mean, He was just, he's easy. He's flowing. You'd think he was a 5-year vet. You know what I mean? I mean, he's
it's really so funny. Confident. I did that morning show with Gary for so many years before you and Pop took that spot over.
Right.
And I have so many pictures of my little guys from the patio.
Oh, that's cool.
And he'll be like, Dad, who is that? I'm like, that's you and Mac Williamson.
Right. Mac Williamson. That's a great pull right there. The guy who fell. He was the one they finally said, we got to move these mounds.
Yeah.
It's Mac Williamson.
The guy almost cracked his head open.
Yeah. They're like, okay, these got to go.
Scary. But Mac Williamson, You know, I've got pictures of who was the guy relief pitcher my daughter thought was cute. She's like, he's cute.
Rod Beck.
Josh Osich.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you remember Osich?
I do remember Josh Osich.
I've got pictures of my kids with like Matt Duffy.
Right.
I mean, it's
classic.
like who's who? Travis Ishikawa. I mean, because they never gave us the great A guys. We had Joe Panic.
Yeah, when he first came up.
We did it. You know what I loved? Of all the Giants through the years that we've had on the patio, the guy that I just loved, Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah.
Pablo Sandoval, and I'm not talking about his first go-around. I'm talking about after he went to Boston, bombed, made a ton of money, had his belt shatter on that Saturday game of the week. Everybody saw that. Remember that?
That was
and it was embarrassing as hell. It was on like cover of
he
Sports
came back a
Illustrated
different guy, man. He definitely did.
And when he came back, he was so cool at that point. And I remember Gary was like, you're so candid, because it was like, I literally was like, Pablo, look at all these people out here. These people love you. How did you walk away from this to go play in a place in like Boston? I bet you it was miserable as hell there. And he's like, oh yeah, it was tough. It was tough. It's like, yeah, because you took the money and got super fat, and those people are intense about their baseball. It's like, I could have told you, bro, don't go to Fenway Park and get fat and take your foot off the gas pedal. You're going to get crushed by the media. And sure enough, he did. They bought him out. And then when
Birdsong struck out the side, still no hits. We might get a no-hitter. We're through 3.
Dude, wouldn't that be something?
Anyway, go
no-hitter.
Continue.
But Pablo was my favorite, man. He was my favorite guy to talk to on the patio because he was very comfortable. He was like, he started telling Gary, I'm like, why'd you put on so much weight? And he's like, after the game.
Why'd you put on so much weight?
Yeah, he's like, seriously, he was in this moment where he was like, really like.
He was cool
opening
about
up.
Huh?
He was opening up. And he was like, oh, man, after the game, and have a couple beers and.
Yep.
Eat a little bit. And, it's like, yeah, dude, could you imagine if your routine was to like wolf down some gigantic, meal with like 3 or 4 beers at like midnight after playing baseball?
Well, and I had heard too that he would crush the post-game spread, and then he thought nothing of grabbing a pie on the way home. That's what I heard. The big culprit was beer and pizza. And so he would crush the post-game spread. He would drink some beers there. Then on the way home, he'd grab a pizza and smash some more beers at home. It was like, dude, you can't live like a normal person or, quote unquote normal guy and think that you're going to be a great athlete in baseball.
It's amazing too how many athletes have terrible habits. I remember
God.
I was doing an interview there back in the day when the Warriors sucked. Ray Ritter would call the station and pitch you guys. Be like, hey, Krug, how you doing? It's Ray. Hey, you want Gilbert Arenas? I can get you Gilbert Arenas at 8. I can get you Keith Smart at 8:30. Hey, what do you want? And Raymond was this is why Raymond's awesome, because he doesn't forget those days, even though those days have come and gone, and now everybody's sweating Steph, and he's got to tell everybody no. But back in the day, Ray used to call around saying, hey, you want to talk to our guys? Hey, I can get you Speedy Claxton. Do you want to talk to him? And I remember he got me Gilbert Arenas on a road game. He's like, Gilbert's going to call you from the hotel.
God, he's turned into like a star Arenas. My God.
So Gilbert calls Sports Phone, and it's like 9:30. They're back east. So it's like midnight. And he's like, yeah, man, I just got back to the room, and I told Ray I was going to call you.
Smoking one.
And he's like, I go, so what's the plan tonight? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, me and my boy are here. We're going to play some video games. I just got a half gallon of Rocky Road, and I'm gonna crush that.
Exactly.
And I said, what?
He got high as hell, got some Rocky Road, and is going with some video games.
Gilbert, what? What did you say? He goes, yeah, man, I got a half gallon of Rocky Road. I go, so just you and your buddy are going to put down a half gallon of Rocky Road? He's like, no, man.
You're a professional athlete.
He goes, he's got his own. And then he goes, what do you got? And all of a sudden you hear this, I got pralines and cream, right? And this is on KMVR. You hear a guy in the background yelling, pralines and cream.
How great is that?
And then he goes, yeah, man. He goes, pralines and cream, but I'm going Rocky Road. I go, come on, Gilbert. It's already 12:30. You haven't even started. I go, you're really gonna eat a half? He goes, I go, how much of that are you gonna eat? He's like, oh man,
did
I'll
he have
eat
a
all
game
of it.
that night? Do you remember if he had a game?
They had played. They had played already. They had already played that night. And he was back in the hotel. They had played. See, it was like back in the day when like the Warriors wanted pub. And so they would call KNBR. They knew they were, I think it was, they were back east. I think they were in New Jersey. And he was like, yeah, I'm back at the hotel. It's snowing outside. And I just got a half gallon of Rocky Road, and I've got some video games with my buddies here, and we're going to play video games, and we're going to crush all this ice cream. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, if I did that, I even said it on the air. I'm like, dude, Gilbert, if I ate a half gallon of ice cream at midnight and just crashed, I probably would never wake up. I'd probably have a massive coronary in the middle of the night, and that would be it. I'm like, just enjoy these days, man, because this ain't going to last forever.
Well, exactly. Your metabolism slows down or whatever. When you were a kid, you could take a half gallon down, no problem. But like you said, you play after the game. Well, that's what it's conducive to doing too. That's why, like the NBA, like when weed was illegal, it's like, do you guys realize like what you're doing here? They get done with games at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. They do their media stuff. They crush some post game spread. They get on a bus or they jump on a plane, and it's like, what do you? Of course, that's what they're gonna do. And the hoochie mom doesn't wait for them in the hotel. And I mean,
Willie Adames just struck out.
It was such a horrible bet.
Really bad.
I don't know. I know this is crazy to do this early. Would the Giants ever try to get out from under that contract and just say,
what are you going to do?
He looks terrible.
Trade him for Brandon Ayuk?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, just anything. Kind of like what they did last year.
Niners, you won out of the Ayuk, and Giants, you won out of Adames. How about Adames for Ayuk?
He just, the thing is, and this is just a poor illustration of anyone signing here that's decent with a stick. Like, he's just getting worse. Like somebody earlier, I don't know if it was a super that said there, but like he was hitting 197 coming into that at bat. I don't know what it is going to be now, 194 or something. Somebody said we got to chug a full beer if he gets over 200. He's not going to hit over 200. So now we're going to replace the Lamonto meter, the Lamont, Mendoza meter with the Willie Adames. And if we don't have the Willie Adames, then we have the Patrick Bailey. Like, my God, you got three guys in your line. Well, not now. But you got guys
Bailey's
at this
a good
point
defender.
Under 200. Yeah, that's a good point. But God, man, Willie Adames hitting like 194.
Fuji Simeon says, will bottom of the pint merch be available? Coasters.
That's a good idea.
I could go. I could talk to Kev about that little bottom of the pint merch.
Well, you and I need to get the glasses. We need to have because that is a good logo. Dom is the one who came up with that logo. It's a good one.
Well, dude, really I don't have my shirt on right now, but because I went to dinner, I switched it. But I was wearing a Krug Show shirt today, and guy comes up to me in the gym, like some powerlifting teenager, and he's like, "Hey." He's got earphones in. He's like, "Hey," and I go like this, all this head bobbing, and I go, one more set. I got one more set. He's like, "No, man." He goes, "I just want to say, man, I love the show. I love the show." And I'm like, "Oh, really? The Krug Show?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I dig it." I'm like, "Thanks, man." He puts his earphones in.
You got young guys there. Very nice. You got the young demo working.
Back in when I was only on the radio, everybody would approach me and be like, "Hey, my grandfather is a big fan of yours."
Exactly.
My great-great-grandmother loves you. Oh, really? Yeah. Is she around? No, she's not around anymore. Fuji Simeon, boo SI. I didn't realize the Braves were struggling. Fuji Simeon, chug if Adames ends the night.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. Fuji said it. Yeah, I mean, he's 0 for 2 tonight, and he's probably down around 194. I mean, we're not going to see 200 tonight.
Look at this one from Fuji. Larry, you should be a ball dude down the foul line. Do you know how much they would love to spoof on me? Oh,
man, they would love it.
Oh, they would just.
Well, that can't be as bad as when Flem was the bat boy because he was. What did he do? He was last place for the Fantasy Football League, and they made him be the bat boy for the night. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Well, nothing's quite as bad as Rod's first pitch. No offense. No offense,
That's
Rod.
Pretty bad.
Fuji Simeon says, John, how is the grill cam setup coming along?
I know. He tells me every week, and I do. I'm in this studio, which we're redoing, which is why I have the boring white background. Is I have a cam that goes out into my yard, and right next to my studio are, even though my wife hates this, is the only part of the house I get, which is this small outside cemented area, which has a flat top grill, a smoker, and a regular grill for like burgers, like a propane grill. And I get those 3. And every single time almost that she walks out to this place, which isn't often, she says to me, can't we get rid of 1 or 2 of those grills? And I say, absolutely not. I said, a flat top is for this, smoker is for this, a grill is, I said, I need them. And I said, I might even buy another one. And then she just looks at me and turns around and walks out. And so I have this nice setup of these grills. And I always say, because we should do a whole thing one of these times, make a big deal of it and do burgers and the whole deal. Like we're at the ballpark. I did that for the first one. I had like grilled dogs and I had the whole thing. And then I just bring beers in here. That's it. Like, I don't need food. What's that about? Let's just drink beers. I don't really eat at a ball game. I just drink beers at a ball game if I go. So Matt Olson, God, he's fallen off the map, hasn't he?
Oh my
He's
God.
been terrible. When he first got to Atlanta, he was awesome. What's he hitting? 237, 12 homers, 36 RBIs. Yeah,
237 with 12. The 12 homers is kind of surprising. That's low.
Man, when he first got there, he was like, people were like, well, he's as good as Freddie Freeman. It's like, not quite.
What'd you think of game 1 of the finals?
I don't know how Halliburton's doing it, but I covered Jordan in the 98 finals. You could say that right now what Halliburton is doing with these game-winning shots at the end, I'm not trying to be screaming A here. It's probably the greatest performance in the playoffs in terms of game-winning shots, last-second shots that we've ever seen. I mean, he's got one in every series. He had the layup versus Milwaukee. He had the crazy shot after a missed free throw against Cleveland. He had the one that bounced in against the Knicks, and then he just had the one last night. And what's so funny is the box score jockeys would look at what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did last night, and they go, oh, he scored 38, and Halliburton only got 14. It's like, it's not how much, it's when. It's like we were just talking about runners in scoring position. I don't care if you get 1 million hits. If you get none with runners in scoring position, you're no good to me. So Halliburton is late in game. Like, how does Oklahoma City last night, knowing the history of that, say, so SGA misses the mid-range shot, and they're only up 1. He's coming up the court. Lou Dort is on, like, Cason Wallace is a nice player, but man, I'm bringing Lou Dort over there. I'm bringing everybody. Like, the ball's getting out of Halliburton's hands. He might as well be Jordan in that case. You got to get it out of Halliburton's hands. Like, you got to run everybody at Halliburton and say, look, you've had 3 game. We got to get it. Somebody else has got to beat us.
Somebody,
not you.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You can't get the same guy beat you.
I mean, they let him just come right up the court and shoot the shot.
Is OKC going to gag, or is OKC going to bounce back and win it easily?
No, they're so. It took me a long time to come around on them, but they're so good. And then the thing that's scary from a Warriors perspective is they're built up for this 2-year run. Everybody's got 2-year contracts. The same very thing that Steph did in denying a bunch of players championships. If Oklahoma City gets that championship swag to go along with what they have, and they still have 1 million first-round picks, and Sam Presti's not going to screw it up, Oklahoma City could be a ridiculous dynasty. If they get that championship swag, like, yeah, we know.
I mean, where the heck was Chet in game 1? I thought Chet Holmgren disappeared in game 1. My God.
Yeah, I mean, when SGA scores 38, you're at home, you're rested. You got to win that game. They were up 15 in the 4th, and that's what I'm talking about the championship swag. If you're up 15 in the 4th and you're a championship team, the pedal doesn't come off the metal, man. You just bury that team. And Oklahoma City's a young team, and they go, we're good. Have you been watching the Pacers at all? Because this is what they do. Like, they're down 15 and they come back and they beat you. So
Braves are rallying here. A couple walks, it looks like. Still a no-hitter. Ozzie Albies
he's
at
missing
the plate with 2 on.
His pitches aren't even close this inning. That's
they're bounced a curveball.
Yeah, now you have Bailey coming out there. I don't know how this works because I was never a very good pitcher, but how right in the middle of the game, and the only thing I think I can comp it to is golf. Like, your front 9 was great, and then you come out in the back 9 and you just can't find your swing. It's like he can't find his release point right now. Every pitch up there, just when the first few innings, it was just easy. Ball's coming out, 98, ball's dropping, right now, he just looked like he's struggling for some reason.
Well,
doesn't know where it's going.
In a yard like this, pitch up. Yeah. The ball's not going out. Guys aren't hitting it out to this yard for the most part at night. So I pitch up. Take advantage of the windy air and the cold air, and it's like, it seems like if you pitch down, there's so many of these guys have
especially lefty. He's got a lefty up there,
Yeah, and if sure enough he goes up top, 96, ball 1.
But like you said, he's 2-0 on the guy, and it's like you're up 3-0, man. You got to challenge hitters up 3-0. Now he's 3-0. That ain't good. He can't find his release point, man.
Look at this. Unbelievable.
And these aren't particularly close pitches.
Come on, Birdsong. No.
All he needs is a little hot shot down to Chapman.
Ground ball to second base. Ground ball second base.
God, he is not even close with these pitches.
Oh, my God.
Something's gone. He just lost it. I mean, it's just all of a sudden he just lost it. Like, this guy was cruising.
Bags loaded, nobody out.
Now he can't even find his release point at all. I mean, that was 3 really high pitches that were non-competitive, and then he just threw one in the dirt.
5-alarm fire in the Giants dugout. The pitching coach taking a slow walk.
Exactly. Get someone up immediately.
Get someone up, and I will walk us out there as slow as possible.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, what can you say?
I love mountain visits.
By the way,
everybody's like this.
While
What's
we
up,
have a little,
how's it going, man?
Yeah. We got a little lull in the action. Let's interpret what's going on here in fan cam. Here's a guy.
Fan cam is the best.
Kiss cam going.
Oh, this is
the girl
so
in
funny.
front kind of shows that.
Oh, this is amazing.
Hey man, it's time for you to kiss her, and look what happens. Did he just kiss his beer?
Yeah, that's one of the best ones I've ever seen. If you didn't know any better, you'd just think, I mean, you're thinking that on the fly, like, I'm going to kiss my beer and then chug it. That's pretty good.
That guy's my hero, man.
Oh, no. Get foul, get foul, get foul, get foul, get foul, get foul. Okay. Barely. Oh, my God. They almost went down 4-3. JP Martinez, great advice to Hayden Birdsong. Throw a strike. And so then, the batter's going, okay, first ball, fastball, and he almost hit
it out. Almost hit a granny.
Yeah, that thing was barely foul. Alex Verdugo, of course, the former Dodger. My God. He knew that was coming.
Why are they looking over to the dugout? Are they going to replay
not.
it?
Let's see. Where'd this thing go? Because, I mean, he knew it. Fastball right
close?
Down the middle. I can't even see the damn ball.
I can't either.
Well, Verdugo didn't get all mad about it. No, the people who caught it were on the foul side. I mean, they're checking it just because they're just like, what the hell? It means a grand slam. If it's not. I don't think it's fair. I
always thought Verdugo was going to be better than this.
Me too.
He was touted as really good.
That's
we got another one here. We got this one from Fuji. He says, is Burrell realistically in a hot seat or at all? Imagine having Adames and Corbin on the roster with the struggles and injuries that have occurred. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's nearly as much pressure on these guys. It seems like, I mean, until Buster made that move, there was no pressure on anybody.
Yeah, I think when you have this many bats struggle, I think you have to look at it. Not that it's necessarily Pat's fault, but it's, when it comes to a hitting coach, it's a different voice. If 1 or 2 guys are struggling, that's on them. And players play, coaches coach. I understand that. But when this many bats are struggling, you just probably need a different voice in the dugout, a different philosophy, a different whatever. Because the thing that's sticking out to me is not only are these guys not hitting a lot of the time, they're not good at bats. Like Patrick Bailey's at bats suck. Lamont Wade Jr.'s at bats suck. They're not working the batter, or they're not working the pitcher. It's not like they have great exit velocities and they're getting robbed or anything like that. They're just not good at bats. They're not smart at bats a lot of times. And so that, to me, that kind of points to the hitting coach and maybe needing a different voice. Sean Murphy, another guy we haven't heard from forever.
Former A.
Yeah.
So now there's 1 out, bags loaded. Still 3-0. So
TP ball would be amazing right here.
Yeah. Strikeout.
Just because he's had a horrible inning. I mean, if he could get out of this with nothing, ooh. See, now he's finding it. Now, because for 3 batters, he was clueless on where the ball was going, and all of a sudden,
wonder what the pitch. What did the pitching coach say? I wonder.
Who told us that? I think me and you might have been standing there together. I think Buster, when he was a player, I think somebody asked him that in a post game or something like that, and he just basically said, it's just kind of a rest and a reset for the pitcher. There's never anything. I mean, maybe Affeldt has said that before too. I remember Affeldt saying that to me one time. It's nothing really. It's just they want to give you a blow. And then Affeldt was one of those guys. Certain guys just hate when the pitching coach comes out. So Affeldt said he would get testy So like Rigetti would come out, Rags would come out, and he'd be like, "What are you doing out here, man?" He's just like, "Dude, I'm just giving you a break. Relax. Just calm down." Because they're not going to give you some great wisdom. It's not like Little League. Hey, Billy, you got to throw strikes, Billy. I mean, what are you going to tell a professional pitcher? Like, they're trying to give him a break.
By the way, bags are loaded. Maybe we should we focus on the game? But I have another soundbite I want to play for you.
All right, we got 0-2 on Murphy. Bags loaded.
Come on, strike him out.
That's not a bad pitch on 0-2 though. He went down low. It's not a bad pitch. All right, 1-2. Murphy, 3-0 Giants. Top 4. Hayden Birdsong still hasn't given up a hit. Has he? Are these all walks on the board here? I can't remember. And I'm too lazy to go look for it.
No hits.
Yeah, no hits. 66 pitches. Let's go. There he goes. Oh, that's going to be a sack probably. It's probably a sack fly. Oh, if Yastrzemski gets it on the right side of the plate, they get him. Probably. Bad throw. Matt Olson
sack fly. So now it's a 3-1 game, but it's still a no-hitter.
It's not wild. Yeah, it gives up a sack fly. That wasn't a great throw.
What are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? Somebody throw a ball on the field?
Maybe. Yeah, that's not a great throw by Yastrzemski. That actually, they would have had a shot at Matt Olson. That was a terrible throw on the first base side.
I'm going to share the screen. This was from the Tolbert show earlier this week.
It was a bad throw. Oh, you know what? Yeah, there was.
What happened there?
I don't know how a ball got out. Did a fan throw that on the field? Or did it come out of a dugout? What happened there? So as Bailey's catching the ball, another ball goes flying in front of him. So it's not going to affect whether he's going to score or not, but that's something.
This is weird. JT Snow on with Tolbert. Listen to this.
He's the best.
So I will never forget this as long as I live, that meeting we came out. And so
2002 World Series.
And I love Russ Ortiz. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy. And he was dealing that game.
Yep.
And so when Dusty came out to the mound, we all got there, and it was David Bell and Rich Rearla and Jeff Kent, myself, and Benito. And when you go to the mound, it's always interesting to hear what the manager, maybe what his first question is to the pitcher. So, and this is spot on word for word. Dusty came out and said, hey boys, Russ, how do you feel? And Russ said, I feel okay. And so we're like, okay. Like, we're looking around, like, if that's me, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, get off the mound. And he goes, and then the next question that Dusty asked Russ was, he's like, I got Felix Rodriguez. He goes, I got Felix warm in the pen. And Russ said, all right. And we're like, okay, now like 0 for 2, 0 for 2. The manager's giving you, and I'll never forget. This is the last line. Dusty goes, I think I'm going to bring Felix in. And Russ said, okay, and handed him the ball. And we were like, and I looked at David Bell, and I looked at Richie and Jeff and Benito, and we're like, Wow. And so he gave Dusty the ball, and then he started to walk off. And then Dusty said, no, here, keep this. This is going to be a souvenir someday. And then Felix came in, threw 11 fastballs and rode Espizio, hit a 3-run jack, and then the game's tied or whatever. Because I was out in the field, and I'm like, okay, that didn't go like as I thought, or as like I'd be like, Russ had like a 3-hitter or 4-hitter, and like gave up 1 run or shutout. So I
what do you think of that?
I didn't know that.
First of all, it makes Ortiz look like a terrible competitor.
Single to center, by the way.
Tie ball game.
3-2. Oh! If Bailey hangs on, they get him they get a Zune at the plate if Bailey hangs on, but he couldn't. Yeah, he's safe. So 3-2.
Oh, it's 3-2.
3-2 out. Yeah, and they would have had Ozuna at the plate, except for Bailey dropped it. No, they wouldn't have had him. He was still going to be safe. So 3-2.
Almost stepped up.
3-2, second and third, and 2 out. So Birdsong just lost his no-hitter, even though he had a run against him. So 1 hit.
By the way, the double pot holder is the worst look in the history of baseball.
Totally.
It's like
totally bad.
It's like, what happened? Did we draft like an Eskimo base runner or something? I mean, they look like mittens. They look like Eskimo mittens. They do. They look like mittens. Have you ever have mittens as a kid?
No. Always
they suck. Mittens suck.
Always. Yeah, because you can't do anything with mittens. I mean,
what are you going to do with mittens?
Yeah, I understand the concept. Like, I grew up skiing a lot. I understand the concept, which is
I'm gonna drink my beer with mittens.
Yeah, your hands stay warmer in mittens, but I don't care. I have to have use of my fingers. And so, like, when you're skiing, like, I'd never had mittens on. You know, big old giant mittens. Like, I had to have gloves on. You got to be able to move your fingers around.
If Birdsong can escape this with the lead, I'll chug the rest of this beer.
Oh, he's got Nick Allen. He's got to be able to put this away, right? 3-2, Giants in the fourth. Birdsong just has lost it. Came into this inning dominant, but he's struggling. So this is a big batter right here because you got 2 out, second, third, 2 out. Got to get Nick Allen here. Oh, man. Too much of the plate. Still 2-2. Fouled it back.
Fouled it back.
Yeah, mittens. Mittens are no good. You can't do anything with mittens. Moms would make you when you were really young. You'll keep your hands warmer. It's like, I don't care. I don't care about
mittens.
That. Kidding me? Ridiculous.
Well, I'd like fingers.
All right. Oh, my God. It wasn't the greatest throw, but there you go. All right, they get out of it.
You get out of it?
3-2, 3. Yeah. Nick Allen grounds out. Birdsong's got to regroup.
All right. There we go. We got out of it. I'll slam the rest of this.
All right.
Thank you, Birdsong.
The Hazy IPA. It's very nice. It's a very nice IPA. By the way, I don't know if he's going to come in here, but when I went to grab a couple of beers here, and I'm going to have to grab a couple more, my son, of course, he's leaving on very nice chug, by the way. He's leaving on Monday for the Cape Cod League. He's covering the Cape Cod League this year on the Cape in Massachusetts.
Did he rent the movie yet?
No, I should. Yeah, I should
tell
do
him
that.
He's got to rent the movie.
Yeah, he's got to watch that. But so he covered ASU baseball, covered ASU football. He's going to come back from the Cape and cover Arizona State football, which is a big deal this year. But he's leaving on Monday, and I said, you got to come in and say hello to Krug, man. I mean, he was on your show from the Super Bowl and everything, but he's only in town, for a couple of weeks. He just finished up school, going a couple of weeks, and then Monday, literally taking a red eye because he's got to be there. He just wrote the profile for all the players on the team, and then he's going back there, and he's got to he's taking a red eye on Monday night. And he's got to be there Tuesday for like some, player get together thing. But like tons of guys. I mean, Buster Posey played in the Cape. Pete Alonso. Like there's going to be a bunch of major leaguers there. It's their first shot at wood bats.
I'm fired up.
Yeah, so I got to make sure he comes in and says hello to you because he's heading out Monday.
You still got the porn stash?
Oh yeah. That thing's not going.
That's a signature. Is that can be a signature?
I guess I've tried to tell him like you got to get rid of that thing, but it's not happening. So anyway, I'll have to text him.
It worked for Magnum. Fuji Simeon.
His stash isn't quite Magnum.
Larry, SI grads love mittens. It's Hello Kitty paws. Yeah, thank you. By the way, I love that text that you just sent. That's hilarious. Mittens, yeah.
Who wears mittens, man? Nobody. I mean, seriously, kids can wear mittens. It's fine. But if you want use of your fingers, and it drives me crazy to have mittens on. Like you said, I have to if I'm grabbing something, I've had them on before, and you're like grabbing something, you're like,
back to JT.
Yeah, sorry.
Because this was a major moment in Giants history. This is the 2002 Game 6 of the World Series. Okay, so
we talk about that pitching change all the time.
Bob Agnew, I did Sports Phone 680. Bob Agnew at that time, he said, hey, look, the Giants are huge. We have number one ratings at night. At the time, KMBR used to have number one ratings during Giants season and not number one ratings out of Giants season.
Mm-hmm.
KGO was the leader at the time. So this is 2002, and Agnew says to me, hey, Krug, I think if we talk enough Giants and you do enough Giants, we can maintain number one all the way through the winter, all the way to opening day. And they called me in. This is like the old radio days with Salvador. They called me in. They're like, hey, we'll give you a nice bonus if you can maintain number one all the way through. So it was a good challenge. And so they're like, I go, what do you want to do? I mean, what's the plan? And he's like, well, first of all, since we just had a bunch of playoff games, I'd like you we're going to replay every playoff game, and I'd like you to intersperse interviews with the players and coaches about these games in the broadcast so we can drop them, in between the innings. And I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. So I did that, right? I went through the entire playoff World Series run, and obviously we get to Game 6 of the World Series, and I interview Scott Spiezio. And
no way.
Yeah, Scott Spiezio. This is like 2 weeks after the World Series. And I'm like, so we're talking about this, the thing that JT's talking about. Dusty going to the mound. He's got Fifi Rodriguez in the bullpen. He's got Russ Ortiz on the mound. And from the Angels' perspective, so Dusty asked, I didn't know any of these. What I just heard from JT there, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know what Dusty had asked him. It sounded like JT and the boys in the infield thought that Russ may not have been all that fired up to stick around in that game, which I don't know that little commentary made Russ look good. But aside from that, JT's thing was like, hey, what happened was, Rodriguez came in and threw all these fastballs and Spiezio hit one out and blah, blah, blah. And that's all true. But I remember doing the interview with Spiezio, and I said to him, what was the talk in your guys' dugout when Dusty flipped the ball to Ortiz? Because at that point, it had become a point, right? This is after the World Series. And like guys like me had been bitching about it. And so I asked Spiezio, and Spiezio was like, you know what? I didn't see it, but I was in the tunnel, and when I got back onto the bench, Mickey Hatcher and Alfredo Griffin were losing their mind. This is on KNBR. He's doing this interview with me. He's like, Alfredo Griffin and Mickey Hatcher were losing their mind. And they're like, can you believe that? He thinks this thing's over. He just flipped him the ball like it's a souvenir. He's like, let's ruin their. And he's like, and then so I asked, I can still remember this question like it was yesterday. I said to Spiezio, so would you say that Dusty's ball flip to Ortiz added in any way to your guys' resolve to win that game? He's like, absolutely. Right then and there.
Like that. I mean, I know he said it, but it's like, yeah.
I know, but I mean, to hear that a couple weeks after the World Series, all of a sudden the lines lit up, and people were like, "Dusty's gotta go!"
Right?
It was amazing.
I remember all that stuff.
It was an amazing.
Look, man,
time.
that's something that goes down in history, right? I mean, as JT tells the story, which you just played, which is Dusty wanted to hear Russ Ortiz say, "Hell no, this is the World Series, man. This is my game. I want to play." Like that's what most players would say, like. Hell no, you ain't taking me off this mound.
He wanted the red ass. Right. He wanted the red ass responses.
He was
Get off my mound and go sit in the dugout.
Yeah, which most pitchers would give.
And
right?
Instead,
most pitchers would give that. And he's like,
Russ didn't give him that. And then he went
so
to
he's
FIFA.
like, all right, well, you're giving me no choice but to take you out because you're not like fighting for you're not fighting to stay into a World Series game. And you're kind of like, yeah, okay. We're going to bring him in. Yeah, okay. Like he's waiting. Like he gave him 3 chances. Like JT said, 3 strikes and you're out. 3 chances to say, hell no, man. This is my mound. This is my game. Get the hell out of here. But he never got it.
No.
So, I mean, doesn't that change people's perspective on, okay, you're ripping Dusty for doing it. But it's like when a guy sits there and is like, okay, take me out. What the hell what are you supposed to do? Like you can't keep the guy in, right? Jeez, Chappie,
I mean, as a manager, you're looking for him to tell you to get lost, and he didn't do it.
3-2, Birdsong back out there for the 5th, and Chapman, I don't know what they're going to call that. That's an error to me.
You think so? A little tapper? He just didn't get it out of his glove.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll call that. But, I mean, I expect
his
Chapman
thoughts
to
on Rocky's fan lawsuit and Darren Ruff's suit. I didn't hear about that suit.
No, I don't know what that is. Should I look it up real quick?
We could. I mean, big
look at the people
Darren
on the sailboat.
Ruff.
It looks cold, man.
Oh gosh,
I'm not doing that, man.
That doesn't look fun at all.
Nah, I mean, like being on a boat out there would be fun, especially at night, but not
a motorboat. Yeah,
motorboat.
A motorboat.
Yeah, motorboat's always fun.
A sailboat, some boat that's going to capsize in the middle of the bay, and you're going to be sitting there and shark bait.
No.
Dave Lombardi swims in the ocean and he swims in the bay. He can do it.
Just ask him. I'm doing a live 49ers report from the ocean with my
I was
friends.
just eaten by a shark.
I'm Aquaman. Let's see. Let me see here. Mr. November. No,
Tom Smith. Look at that catch. Web gem.
Very nice. Here it is right here. May 22nd. I missed this. Darren Ruff is suing the Reds for damages after he suffered a career-ending injury while crashing into an uncovered tarp roller at Great American Ballpark 2 years ago. Yeah. I mean, why not, man? What's he asking for?
Everybody sues everybody now.
I know.
Do you remember when Vince Coleman got knocked out of the playoffs when he got swallowed up?
That sounds like what happened with Darren Ruff. Yeah, it sounds like that's what happened.
He was like the fastest guy. Nobody could stop Vince Coleman except the tarp. Remember the tarp slowed him down.
Remember that.
That was unbelievable.
That's when you used to have guys actually steal bases. Oh, I did see this one. Rocky sued for negligence after foul ball hits man's eye. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, look, you're at a game. Stop looking at your phone. I mean, that's what I
watch the freaking game. Take some responsibility. If a ball hit me in the face, I wouldn't sue. I'd be embarrassed.
He was in a private box at a suite as a guest of the company.
Oh, that's even worse.
Blah, blah, blah.
Pay attention.
Baseball hit him directly in the eye and face, causing catastrophic and permanent injuries. I don't know, man. What does it say on the back of your ticket? Doesn't it say, like, pay attention? The ball could be flying around. So he gets hit with a baseball and just – look, that sucks. I mean, you get those major injuries and everything like that. Like, I get it, bro. But I don't know. The thing is I see so many people just staring at their phones. That's why they have nets now, because people are staring at their damn phones. And it's like, ball's going to come back. And they go baseline to baseline now. Like, you get nothing. Like, you used to get baseballs back in the stands all the times. Now it's like, it's tough to get a ball now. And then that guy's in a suite going, I get hit with a ball. It's like, pay attention, you jackass. He's not winning that.
Giants up 3-2, 1 out, top 5. And looks like Matt Olson at the plate with a runner on board. Birdsong's still in there. He's at pitch almost 90. This next pitch will be his 90th pitch.
So he'll get through 5, maybe?
It might be his last inning. Giants do have a very good bullpen.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that. Because this week, this is what's so great about having Webb and Ray. Webb's last outing, 8? Ray's last outing, I think 7. I mean, you get guys in your bullpen in this day and age that are giving your bullpen 2 nights off a week. And plus you get, a day off a week, but you get 2 days off a week plus the regular day. So you're getting 3 days off a week as a bullpen. The one thing that makes me nervous about the Giants is exactly what happened last year. Detroit had the most innings pitched from relievers last year. The Giants were second, and their pen blew out. And that's the thing this year. They got to be careful that they don't blow their pen too early. And if you can get Ray and Webb giving you 7 or 8 innings a night, then there you go. And then you can have, Birdsong be solid for 5 and then dump into your pen a little bit early. So we'll see. But yeah, the thing that sucks about this is through 4, he looked incredibly dominant. 5, the wheels came off, or 4, the wheels came off, and now 5, he's just trying to get through 5 so he can get the win. So we'll see.
Well, we'll see. By the way, game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals going on. Edmonton and Carolina 4-4 in overtime. This is game 2. Edmonton won game 1 in overtime. So Connor McDavid and the boys. I'll always go for the Canadian franchises.
You know what's interesting about the NHL is like George Kittle lives in Nashville, and you see him go down there. Utah's now got hockey. They didn't know shit about hockey. Carolina, that's ACC basketball country. Like, we have so many teams in hockey in America that these Canadian teams would be dying for, and I don't think that anybody knows anything about hockey. Like, I mean, I know that there's a really smart and strong faction of Sharks fans, but it's small. We're sitting in Northern California with hockey. Like, when they get good, I'll watch them. I love going down to Sharks games. Don't get me wrong. But
it is fun to go.
I love it. It's a niche thing. But I remember I went to Detroit to do mornings in Detroit. I was a young guy. I really hadn't paid a ton of attention to the NHL. And the first day they throw me on the air, I was doing mornings, but they threw me on the afternoon, like on a Friday, to get acclimated to everybody. it was NHL trade deadline day. And we had on the head coach of the Red Wings. This is when they were good, like the Yzerman and Lindstrom and that group. They were winning Stanley Cups. And they throw me in there, and like I had to jam on hockey, like really hardcore hockey. Because in that city, like as much as we talk Niners here, like they talk Lions, they talk everything there, but they talk hockey. Like
it is funny though. It's funny. I have buddies who are like, hey, they talk a lot of hockey on WFAN. I'm like, no, they don't. No, they don't. They don't talk any hockey on WFAN.
In New York?
For the most part.
No.
They don't talk hockey in New York.
Unless they're really good.
They talk basketball, they talk lots of baseball, and they talk football.
No,
but they don't talk hockey.
No. If I was there now,
they talk hockey in Chicago. They talk hockey in Detroit.
Well,
they talk hockey in Toronto. They talk hockey in
tons.
Places like that.
Well, it was just the timing
believe it or
of
not, they even kind of talk a little bit of hockey. I heard it when I was in Arizona for spring training. They talk that the Arizona, whoever the flagship in Arizona is, talks some Coyotes.
When I was in Detroit, like I said, it was just different because it was the Yzerman led group. Sergei Fedorov was on that, and they were a big deal. So as much as we talk, and at that point too, the Tigers won like 43 games. Birdsong's out, so he can't get the win 4 2/3 or 4 1/3. 4 1/3.
Dude, that was a quick pitching change.
That was a quick change.
Jesus, but, did you notice that?
No, all of a sudden it was like, whoa, he's coming out. So
that's the fastest pitching change I think I've ever seen.
And the other thing too is, and this is just a young pitcher out here, I am talking the guy up. Like he was dominant through 3, no hits, goes into the 4th, loses his. He lost his release point, and he never got it back. Like I said, it was after my golf game. Like I'll have 3 or 4 great holes. I'm feeling good. I have a couple of beers. The beer cart girl comes by, gone. And I can't get it back. That's what happened.
Did I ever tell you my beer cart girl story from New Orleans? So I'm in New Orleans playing golf. This is years ago. Okay, this is like 1994, and it's July. I'm at the NAB in New Orleans, right? And there's an off day, and so they're like, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna play some golf. I was there with Sports Byline. They're like, yeah, no problem, play some golf. So I go down to the concierge in the lobby of the hotel, and I said, hey, I want to play golf, but I want to get a real New Orleans feel. And he's like, I don't want to go to some country club that's all pristine. Right. I want it to feel like New Orleans. And he's like, oh, I know the perfect course.
Oh, what a great voice.
And I'm like, great. And guy sends me to a course. It's a Muni course. He's like, it's the oldest course in the city of New Orleans.
Is that what really?
Yeah. And I get to the course, and it's a cemetery.
What?
It's a cemetery. They built a course around a cemetery.
No, they did not.
Yes, there's a cemetery.
Are you kidding?
There's tombstones all over this place.
It's a golf course.
It's a golf course, but it was also a cemetery.
No way.
Yes. So I'm playing golf. It's me, one guy from New Orleans, or 2 guys from New Orleans and 1 guy from Indiana. We get to like the 13th hole. First of all, it's July in New Orleans.
Oh,
from when I left the air conditioned clubhouse till I got to the first tee.
Right.
When I got to the first tee, I just put my arms out like that, and I just was laughing because I was drenched in sweat. My entire shirt from top to bottom, I was drenched in sweat. It's just coming down my face. I've never sweat this much playing 18 holes of golf in my life, and I haven't hit 1 ball yet, and I'm sweating like this.
Oh, it's tough.
And the 2 guys from New Orleans are like, yeah, it's sticky, man. I'll tell you, it's sticky. The guy from Indiana is riding around with me in my cart. We're sharing a cart. So we get to like the 13th hole, and it is dying. I am dying hot. I can't
do it.
And I see the drink girl, right, in the car, in the golf cart. And I'm like, the drink girl. He's like, I've never been so excited to see anybody in my life. I'm like, I got us. I bust out my card. I'm like, I got us. Whatever you guys want. I'm getting like, I go, let me get 2 Gatorades. Let me get 2 beers. Let me get 2 Cokes. Let me get fucking a box of ice. I needed so much, right? I was like, I want. Yeah. So the girl, first of all, the girl is got this rough Cajun accent.
Oh,
rough. Like she sounded like, Mike Detillier.
Oh, one of my favorites. Oh, of course.
Yeah, Mike Detillier is the best. She just had this rough New Orleans accent. She steps out of the cart. I'm not shitting you, John. Absolute, unbelievable 10. Perfect 10. 5'11", smoking hot, unbelievably beautiful. I go, I'm 24 at the time. And I'm just baffled. I'm like, this is the drink girl on this course in the middle of a freaking cemetery? I go, you have a drink girl that looks like she's like a Playboy bunny? I go, what in the heck is going on here?
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah, that's New Orleans. That's New Orleans. That's New Orleans. So she's there. I'm trying to chat her up. No, I'm getting nowhere. All of a sudden, I look over the bend because she's right on the crest of the hill.
Right.
And I look over the bend and I can see the bank of the whatever pond or whatever you want to call this thing. It wasn't a lake or anything. It was a small pond. I'm not shitting you. There's no less than 40 raccoons walking towards us. 40 raccoons. Now they're nocturnal, right? They're nocturnal. Right. So I've never seen raccoons in the daytime like that. 40 raccoons walking towards us. And I go to the guy from Indiana. I'm like, oh, my God. Dude, there's 40 raccoons walking towards us. This girl does not bat an eye. She goes into, I swear to you, I couldn't believe this. My mouth just dropped open. She's like, oh, they're so cute. She goes into the cabinet, reaches out, busts out a thing of corn nuts.
Come on.
Pours them in her, wait a second, dude. Pours them in her bare hand and fed these raccoons out of her hand.
What?
A perfect 10 who claimed she went to Tulane and was the drink girl fed 40 raccoons corn nuts out of her bare hand.
It's just different.
I go, what the hell? I go, those things are rabid. I go, stay away from that. And the two guys from New Orleans turned to me and the guy from Indiana. I'll never forget this. He's like, oh, yeah, down here, people have them declawed and they're all domesticated.
No way. I've never heard of that.
What? He goes, no, come on. You never heard of domesticated raccoons? And I go, dude, if I invite you to my house in San Francisco and I have a raccoon as my pet, I mean, that's the trashiest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's like Beverly Hillbillies shit.
Right.
I'm like, what are you even talking about? That can't be true. He's like, man, people down here, man, they have them declawed and they have them as house pets.
That's ridiculous. I've never heard about. I've never heard that. Are you serious?
This girl fed 40 raccoons corn nuts out of her bare hand.
I mean, they're probably pretty smart.
If I had a cell phone video camera phone at that point, oh my God, I would have filmed it. I would have filmed it. And I said to the Indiana guy, I go, have you ever heard of domesticated raccoons? Down the line. Look at that. Against Schwellenbach.
Well, he's pitching well, too. Schwellenbach. I made fun of him earlier.
Chapman with a double. Molasses Flores only got the third. Jesus. Flores. I mean, are you an athlete?
Hey, he scored at a pass ball tonight, man. I mean, it's,
Flores. I mean, what is Flores waiting for? A Muni bus to take him home?
Okay, so this is huge right here because the Giants do this. They'll score early and you get optimistic, and then they don't score anymore. So here's Dom Smith, 3-2.
Dom Smith, second and third.
Second, third. You got to get some insurance runs here, man. I mean, the pen's great, but you can't be like every night. Please be perfect, bullpen. Please be perfect. Like every once in a while, it's like, look, man, you got to, their record with 4 runs is something like 20-2. Like, just Get to 4, man.
Seriously, score 4.
I mean, right here, you get a single. You're up 5-2, and you probably win the baseball game. I mean, it's a massive at bat.
100 wins 120. Don't forget that, Dom Smith.
That's right.
Fuji Simeon, Rocky's lawsuit fan got hit by a foul ball in the luxury suite and blames it on how bad team is, which caused him to not pay attention to the game.
Oh, come on. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Like if you get hit by a ball at a ball game nowadays.
Oh, there we go. Sack fly.
Yeah, that'll work. That's good.
Give me 30 seconds. I got to get another beer.
Yeah. Like Lamont Wade Jr. doesn't hit a sack fly there. You know? I mean, I'm not saying Dom Smith is going to be the great elixir at first base for the Giants, but I mean, what did he get? 3 hits yesterday? Got a couple he's knocked in at least a couple. And then here's Willie Adames. Oh, he's hitting 197, so I guess there's a possibility because Fuji had a super a little bit early, said that we were going to have to chug if he hit over 200 today. I thought he was going to drop down to like 194. Had a terrible at bat his last at bat, but he's at 190. Oh, never mind. He's going to ground out to third. All right, so they're going to stay one. We're staying positive on the bottom of the pint. If you're new around here, we were going to be positive. That was a part of our premise. Krug and I got together when we were going to do this, and we said, "All right, let's do a live show during a Giants game all year long." With the caveat being that we're going to be positive, right? We're just going to have fun. We're going to drink some beers. If things aren't going so great, that's okay. We're not going to, but it's like, okay. So with that as a backdrop, like, I'm sure you just saw what I saw. Like Willie Adames, when they're talking about pressing, dude, work the at bat. That's what I'm talking about. Like Pat Burrell. Like, I like Pat Burrell. Been on my show lots of times. Great guy, all that kind of stuff. But it's like, you have to have a conversation with this guy. Like, that was just an awful at bat. A little weak grounder to third base. You're really friggin' Adames, man. I was just telling him. I'm being positive.
What I missed.
They got to run, so it's 4-2. But then Adames comes up, right? And you got a guy on third. You can make it 5-2. You can break this thing open a little bit late in the game, so that the pen doesn't have to be perfect. So that if somebody gets on for the Braves, then the tying run isn't on. And Adames doesn't even work the count. First pitch comes up, and he little slow roller to third base. It's like, it's not only is he not hitting, and I'm saying this in a very positive way. It's not that he's not hit. It's so much as he's hitting. The at-bats are atrocious. I mean, they're terrible. And I know that Pat Burrell's not going, "Hey, Willie, first pitch you see, man, get on that son of a bitch because you're just not hitting." Like, I'm sure he's telling him, like, "Hey, work the pitcher, getting the count in your favor." Like, he's so anxious up there. He's like, and he's swinging like the first pitch, and then it's just like this little soft grounder to third. And you're like, what in the hell, bro?
Tangy's in the house. Tangy says, I'm not into folks not paying attention, but you'd kind of be a clown for not bringing suit. You're just suing insurance, basically. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I get it. I don't know. To me, I just think, you're at a ball game and you're not paying attention and you're in a suite and you get whacked in the eye with a ball. That's on you, bro. That's a you problem. Like, honestly.
Come on, dude. If you're in a suite, you got plenty of time.
Well, and he's trying to say because the Rockies suck. It's like, you knew that before you went into the suite.
Did I ever tell you my Rockies story where I wasted like $700 on 4 innings of baseball?
What? You were in Colorado?
My wife's sister got married in Denver in May a few years ago. So we went to a game and brought the whole family out. And then we saw the Giants were going to be there when we were there. So we're like, oh, we'll have to go to see the Giants and the Rockies. So then I said, well, obviously I've got the connection with the Giants. I go, just let me know how many tickets. And it turns out there were 7 of us. So I asked Russ Stanley for 7 tickets. And he's like, what do you want? I'm like, I figured it's Denver. So I'm like, probably the best you got. I'm figuring, it's kind of whatever. I don't want to sit in the upper deck or whatever.
Not a great stadium, by the way. Not a great stadium.
And it was May, okay? It was a May game. And so it was a day game. Chilly. It was actually kind of humid. It was kind of humid.
Really? All right.
So we get to Coors Field, and it's a humid, overcast day. Very humid. And I'm sitting there, and it's so humid out that I'm like, do I wear shorts? Do I wear jeans? Is it going to rain? I'm not that comfortable with like what kind of weather it's going to be. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just wear jeans and a short sleeve shirt and that'll be fine. Well, we get to the ballpark for the game and Gene Machi sees first of all,
sure.
Russ Stanley doesn't get us okay tickets. He gets us 7 tickets in the first row behind the Giants dugout.
No way.
And when I
plenty of good tickets available, everybody.
Yeah. So and when he's told me that, I was like, awesome. And then I'm like, oh shit, that might be a lot, right? So they were about $100 a ticket, which is not crazy for a behind the dugout ticket,
right?
But it was a few years ago now. Okay, so $700 and something bucks.
That's a pricey ticket back in the day.
Pricey ticket. I wind up having to pay for it. I say to my wife, I'm going to pay for that. She's like, well, it's my family. You don't mind? I'm like, yeah, all right. Fine.
You don't mind.
So I'm like, whatever. What's yours is mine. What's mine is yours.
Now pay up for my family to go to the game.
Look at that. A ball to Adames, and he didn't make an error.
Yeah. He actually made a play on it.
Remember where you are.
Remember this time.
So Gene Machi sees us behind the dugout and rolls Christopher a ball in the first inning.
Nice.
Between the top of the first and bottom of the first. He just sees us sitting there. Christopher looks cute. He's got a little Giants hat on. And Gene Machi rolls him a ball. So I'm like, God, this is freaking awesome. We watched 3 innings of baseball. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the 3 innings, I'm sitting there and I'm broiling. I'm so hot. I've got jeans on. I'm like, oh my God, I would do anything.
You got
if I could cut these pants off right now, I would and wear shorts.
Right.
Okay, so all of a sudden, 3rd inning, skies open.
Oh no!
All of a sudden, it gets super dark, and the skies open, and it's raining so freaking
you paid
hard
for these tickets?
I can't even believe how hard it's raining. It's just like, it's laughable how hard it's raining. It's like torrential downpour. So now I'm doing a segment with Rod back at Cambiar. He's filling in. He's like, yeah, It's like, hey, will you come? You're there. Why don't you do a segment with us? So I do a segment. Keeps raining, keeps raining, keeps raining. Now I'm sitting there going, I wish I had my umbrella, right? So it's like the only game I've ever been to where I'm like, I wish I wore shorts and I wish I brought an umbrella, all within like the first 3 innings of the game. It rains, it rains, it rains, it rains, it rains, it rains, it rains. Sit there for 2.5 hours drinking beer at Coors Field.
With no ball.
No ball. So a couple innings of ball.
Right. For 700 plus.
And then they make the announcement. And I'm like, oh, maybe the game will be canceled. Then I'll get my money back. No, the game's been suspended, and it'll be made up in September.
Man, you ain't gonna be there,
and I'm not gonna be there.
Ugh.
So Russ Stanley calls me a couple days later. He's like, "How was the game?" I'm like, "Russ, I spent like $785. I spent $785. I watched 3.5 innings, and then it's gonna be picked up in September." He's like, "Oh, bro,
resell those tickets." Oh, that's brutal. So
almost $8 to watch like 3 innings of Giants Rockies.
So you pay $800. You got swamp ass going on. Then it starts raining, and you're out the $800 because they make the game up, or they continue the game in September or whatever.
But I will say this: that's kind of a cool town. I kind of like what I'd love to go see a concert in Red Rocks.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Have you gone to Red Rocks?
Yeah, a couple of times.
I went hiking up there. I went hiking, but I didn't go see a concert there. But I'd love to see a concert there. That looks like one of the most amazing concert venues ever. I mean, it's just up there in the hills, and
it's one of those few places, like I've been to the Sphere in Vegas, for example. We saw you two at the Sphere. And
how was that?
Oh my God.
Damon went to see Fish there.
I'd love to see them there.
The Sphere looks like the coolest place to watch a concert.
I would say that Red Rocks is, if you're truly into the music, Red Rocks is amazing and lives up to the hype 100% of the time. The Sphere spoils you for every other concert that you're ever going to go to, because the thing is, like, for example, we were way up high, and you don't even watch U2 at all because there's so much going around you that you never even look at the stage because there's way too much going on. And they were showing like shots of Vegas and deserts, and depending on what the song was. and you were completely enthralled, and it freaked you out because everything's around you. They did one song where they like had flies on there, and they kept more and more kept coming on there, and it was just freaking you out. I wasn't exactly sober, of course, and it was wild. And so yeah, it's cool. Like if you really like a band, like I know the Eagles, I think it's over, but the Eagles did some shows there. Like if you really like a band, you should go. Because it will ruin you though for any other concert because you don't spend any time looking at the stage. It's everything around you. And it's really, to be honest with you, it takes you probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the show to get used to it because it's so overwhelming to your senses. It's crazy.
Greatest concert you've ever been at?
Oh man.
I got a couple that really stand out. I saw Dave Matthews in an acoustical deal with Vince Welnick
cool.
at the Warfield when my wife and I were dating. And I think I might have been like right before the show. I think I had to take a whiz and I went into the bathroom and there was some guy who was like, bro, I was a year behind you at SI.
Way.
And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man? He's like, smoke this J with me.
Oh, no.
So I did, right? And I was torched. I mean, I was just absolutely
back to your seat and you're like,
and it was dark and me and my wife were dating at that point. I think we probably made out most of the show because, it was like we're like our 8th date or something. You know how fired up you are after like 7 or 8 dates. So we're like in the back of the Warfield. But, dude, it was an amazing show. Dave Matthews is just – I don't know if you're a Dave Matthews fan.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple times.
Tolbert used to make fun of me when I would tell him I was a Dave Matthews
Matthews.
fan.
They're good in concert. They got a massive band and horns, and he's good.
Incredible. He was incredible. He was incredible. You know what?
I saw him. Remember that thing they did? It was Metallica, or Dave Matthews, all this. They did it at Oracle Park for some cause. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
That was cool. But yeah, he's great.
Dave Matthews,
good,
amazing,
good,
amazing.
You know what?
That was the one. Okay, so that was one. 2, I went to an NAB the same time I was in New Orleans for the other thing. I was in New Orleans for the NAB, and I went to a private party where the entertainment was Harry Connick Jr. And Harry Connick Jr. in a room of like 18 people. And we're talking, John, it was nobody there. It was like 15, 18 people. Played the guitar, played the piano, played the harmonica, played the bass. Harry Connick Jr., I didn't realize it, is a virtuoso. He can play like anything. And he's like Mr. New Orleans. That was amazing. And I got a chance to meet Harry Connick Jr. and have a beer with him. But the one show that I would have to say, top concert I ever went to, my buddies and I in college, and our girlfriends and our girls that we were hanging with, got a bunch of tickets, and Jimmy Cliff, who's a reggae star, came to the Radisson Hotel in Sacramento.
By the way, Ryan Walker got out of the 6th. With 2 on.
Yes.
So they're still up 3-2. Or excuse me, 4-2. 4-2.
Nice.
Going into the
That was a great move by Melvin,
ahead.
by the way, to go to Walker there.
Yeah.
Because the game was on the line.
Yeah.
The game was on the line. And he had who was the guy that he pulled has got great stuff too. The former Brave.
Tristan Beck.
Tristan Beck was throwing 97, but he went to the Walker and Walker punched him out.
He looked good.
So that's
go ahead.
good.
Sorry, you're talking.
But anyway, so we're at the Radisson Hotel, and the Radisson Hotel had a little courtyard, and it was just like a stage, some seats, then some lawn, and then the lawn went up over this hill, and then there was a swimming pool. And dude, it was 107 degrees.
Woo.
And it was a nighttime concert. And me and like 3 or 4 of my buddies and these girls we were with all watched Jimmy Cliff from inside a swimming pool as we
how cool would that be?
Batted around a little volleyball or whatever we were doing. I forget what we were doing, but we were basically all in the swimming pool for the entire concert. I mean,
that's cool.
Now that in a 107-degree night in Sacramento, watching Jimmy Cliff sing reggae, some great reggae, and Many Rivers to Cross, and Beautiful World, Wonderful World, Beautiful People. I mean, Jimmy Cliff is just awesome. I don't know how much you're a reggae fan, but Jimmy Cliff.
No, I know of him, of course.
Yeah, he's
by the way, some really good stuff. Yeah, Metallica Park at Pac. I saw them on that one. People were talking about Red Hot Chili Peppers in Bottle Rock. I saw them that year. Bottle Rock is always good. I like those massive ones. You know what's funny? Like, we saw Pearl Jam at a place in Utah called DV8 before they hit big. But the thing was, we didn't know they were big. Like, we were like, oh, this is just a really good band. Like, literally a month later, they were the biggest band in the world. Like, but we saw them, but it was like 1991. But it was like we didn't know what they were. So I'd like to say, oh, that was the coolest thing, but it wasn't, because we didn't really know who they were. I mean, I've seen a ton of concerts, and the one that pops, like that one, U2 at the Sphere, is right up there with thoughts of them.
It's got to be amazing.
I saw the Stones at Giant Stadium, which was absolutely, and we had great seats.
I saw the Stones in Canada.
Oh my God,
it was amazing.
I couldn't believe, because we were right at the edge where the stage goes out, and there's Mick coming out, so he was amazing. But you know what? This is going to sound totally crazy, but the statute of limitations is up on this. So I was a young man, I don't know, early 20s. And we took mushrooms and we went to AC/DC. And
where at?
God, where we were, it might have been in Detroit or.
I mean, AC/DC is one of my favorite bands of all time. And because you're talking about post Angus. You're talking about Bon Scott.
No, not Bon Scott. No, Brian Johnson and obviously Angus.
Yeah.
And Angus was a much younger man, and he's bobbing his head the whole time. But the funniest thing, and the reason why I say this, is so we're on mushrooms. We are just laughing our ass off. Everything is it's just incredible. The lights, you know how it is. You're on psychedelics.
Well, I've never actually taken mushrooms, but my roommates did. Their eyes bugged out, and they all wound up on the roof. All I remember is they all wound up on the roof.
Well, they're not a great thing to do in public. They're actually like with your best friends you do them. But as far as a concert is a fun place to do them. But the funniest thing was, so they get to Highway to Hell, right? And that's about right when we're peaking out. And the funniest thing the whole crowd with these red lights popping onto the stage are going, Highway to Hell. And I turn around and I'm just shrooming my head off. And I turn around and I go, we're in hell. I really think, because at that time I thought, I think I might not be alive anymore. And we might be in hell. Because people are just going, Highway to Hell. And these lights are, blaring red onto the stage, and I'm sweating like a dog because I'm in the middle, I'm in a mosh pit basically near the stage, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, okay, settle down. Am I alive? Is this what hell is? Like, I'm not sure if I'm of this world. Like, it was wild, man. And back in like the 80s, early 90s, this kind of stuff, you had those guys with the long hair. And I just remember during that same concert, a guy goes, hey man, do you have a light? He was going to light a joint. And I turn around, and I think it might've been in Utah. As a matter of fact, now they think that, because lighters there, you'd go up on a chairlift and you had them up at high because the wind would knock it down. So you had your lighter up at high, and I light this guy's joint for him. And he had like long stringy hair in his eyes.
Oh, no.
And again, I'm on mushrooms, just laughing at everything. His hair just went up to, he's one of those guys that had a high forehead, and his hair literally in front of me, and you could smell it, went patting the hair out, and he goes, hey bro, like, is it okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, looks great. When the lights came on, dude, we were when the lights came on, we were out of there. And this is the old days, you had a lighter, you didn't have phones, when a certain song came up. But anyway, I know AC/DC, like if you looked at it in probably my catalog of concerts, that probably wasn't the best concert, but it was just the funniest concert. Like I've been to Grateful Dead in Vegas and camped out. I've done a lot of those cool things, but certain ones, just certain things pop out of the concerts. Bottle Rock I've been to a few times and seen some great shows up there. It's cool.
I saw Oingo Boingo one time, Dead Man's Party and all that. That we were
that'd
flying.
Be a lot of moshing.
We were flying that night. I'll give you another one. So I pick up my girlfriend in college, and I'm gonna take her out. And she wants to go. She wants to go to the Madonna concert. Right?
This is like, was she at like the height of her powers or something?
Yeah, of course. This is like 1990, right?
I'm going 1990. By the way. Yeah.
She's at the Oakland Coliseum. Coliseum. So I pick up.
Oh, that's she's right in the middle of her.
I pick up my girlfriend, and
there.
We don't have tickets. And I'm like, why don't we? I go, we don't have tickets, and I don't know if there's any on sale. I think it's probably sold out. I go, but why don't we go to a movie and go to dinner and this and that? And I could tell she was going to be really unhappy. And I'm like, the last thing I want to do. So my roommate goes, bro, you know what you got to do? And I'm like, what? He's like, cause I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, you know, my girlfriend wants to go out. She wants to go to the Madonna concert, but it's in the Bay, and I don't know if we can get tickets. And, you know, so I just suggested let's go to dinner and a movie, and she's really doesn't want to do that. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm going to pay $40 for a movie, another $40 for dinner. It's going to be $100 night.
Right. When that was used to be a big deal.
And she's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to spend $100 and she's going to be pissed. So my roommate goes, hey, bro, just make it a road trip and go down there and see if you can get tickets. And if you can, great. And if you can't, you just got out of going to dinner and a movie.
That's a good call, actually.
And I'm like, you know, it's probably a whole lot cheaper. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea. You're totally right. We'll just drive down there. We'll just try to get tickets. We'll get shut out. We'll come back, and you know, that'll be it. You know, and then I'll be a hero for at least trying. We get down there, and I see this person that I know, and the person's like somehow connected to the concert. And the girl's like, yeah, if you just line up in this line here, they're gonna sell. You know, they have like 150 tickets left over. And she says this to me. I go, really? So just stand in this line. So we stood in this line off to the side, and sure enough, as soon as the concert started, they like had these extra 150 tickets, and we got them for face value. So now, I mean, now I'm not a big Madonna fan, but you know, it was a great concert.
What you got to do though.
Right, it was a great concert too, and this was her truth or dare thing, right? So, you know, so it was a big deal. It was a big deal, and I remember thinking to myself, God, that was probably a pretty good call because I was going to spend $100 and she was going to be miserable. Now we actually, you know, tried to get tickets.
That's a winner.
We got them. Yeah,
no, I've gotten that. I'm sure you've done the same thing. Like, I'm not a country music fan, for example, but for like, I've gone to those kind of concerts and stuff. You do stuff for women, and I've actually. I don't know. I'm a big live music fan, so I don't know that I've ever gone to a concert where I went, "Oh, that was terrible." You know what I mean? Because if I didn't really like someone,
you went to a country.
Yeah, I'm not
concert?
and I don't have.
I don't mind country western, but
I'm not a fan. But it's like right. But I mean, I'm not a fan at all. The only problem was if you ever do go to a country concert, the women are dressed like insane. Like you're just like, oh my god, like in a good way. And I don't have boots. I don't have a hat. Like I don't have any of that, so I just come in my normal.
We used to
clothes, and they're looking at you like
go to the country bar to pick up chicks. And
oh yeah, that's a place.
You know how many times I pretended to? You know, you know how many times I said to like some smoking girl, "Yeah, like of course I like line dancing."
And I've seen it. I've never line danced in my life.
I've never have either, but I've said it many times. Of course I love line dancing.
So they call you? They never called me on it, huh?
Oh no!
I got a bad ankle or something. I can't.
I by the time it's time to go out there, I make up another line to get out of it. But yeah, of course, I love line dancing, and here's the other lie that you got to tell. Yes, I like your cat.
Oh,
do you like my cat? Yes, I love your cat.
I like your pussy, not your cat.
I like your cat. I like your cat.
I'm seriously, lucky because
I can't tell you. I can't tell you the number of times I pretended to like a cat.
Oh.
I mean, I don't like cats. I really don't.
We have a dog, and I'm fighting not to get a second dog, and we're not. There's. I
can't go. Oh,
just tied it. Who was that? Don't tell me that was. Who was that? Who hit that? Somebody on the board tell me that. That was off Walker. Olsen.
Yeah.
God, I'll tell you, Ryan Walker, man, he's another guy. See, that's what we were talking earlier about. Pitching and all that kind of stuff, and you never know year to year. Like last year, Walker goes into the God, look at where that pitch is. Goes into the bullpen, has no problem closing games. He's great, blah blah blah. Right? You don't know year to year with the bullpen. That's why, like the Giants this year, have got to go get some bats because you know the bullpen tonight withstanding is generally good. I don't know what's happened to Walker, man. Have you ever seen a guy come out during the middle of a season and go, yeah, I'm just having mental problems, man. I just can't get through. Like, I'm just, I'm really struggling. Like, I've never heard a guy do that. To me, he
seems really nasty. He's 96 to 98. Yeah, thing's got all kinds of tail and run and movement to it. Thomas Selman says, bottom of the pint. Unfortunately, I'm a Braves fan here in Georgia.
Now.
Time to rebuild. Go Niners. And we got this one. He's Fuji Simeon says, Larry, Sunset District has raccoons and coyotes and rats at SI. Thank you. Fuji says, Larry, you got to file a suit against the Rockies.
That's a good idea. If that guy's going to, you have a better case than that other guy does.
Seriously,
Screw that guy.
I've got real damages.
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. I went to a game for $800. You told me to come back in September. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't live here. Give me my money back.
And it is a totally forgettable stadium, Coors Field.
That's what I mean. Is like you've got all these stadiums that have built these great places, and so you're kind of okay. Our '70s stadiums and all that, the multi-use stadiums are gone, but you have this opportunity to build these nice stadiums. Like Minnesota's done it, Pittsburgh's done it. Like those aren't great big market teams, and then Colorado builds this. I don't even know. It's hard to screw up an outdoor baseball stadium, and you go there and you go, you know what I mean? It's just like it's okay, but it's like there's nothing where you go, woo. Like you walk into Oracle Park, and everything it doesn't matter where you walk, where you sit, it's awesome. I think it's the best park in baseball. Unless you're nostalgic, then you go Wrigley or Fenway, whatever. I've been to just about. I'm trying to think of what parks I haven't been to.
Dodgers pretty amazing.
Exactly. You can hate the Dodgers all you want. That is a cool stadium. Seattle is an underrated state. Like, it's hard to screw up baseball parks. And yet somehow Colorado is like,
Kyle McKiernan at Larry Krueger says, doses. Yeah. And that's like Damon and his fish shows.
Yes.
Grateful Dead shows. I ever told you my roommate at Sac State used to go to Grateful Dead shows. And this guy was so strung out on so many drugs. He would come back and sit at his desk and make beaded necklaces. I swear to you, not for a day, not for 2 days. He would go to a concert. He'd come back to our room on a Sunday night. He would sit at his desk and make beaded necklaces until Thursday. I mean, occasionally he'd go into the bathroom. Occasionally he'd move around. But, I mean, this guy was making beaded necklaces from Sunday through Thursday instead of going to class. I'm like, bro, you plan on sticking around the second semester? You might want to hit a couple classes. He's like, dude, I
saw the Dead.
I'm going to travel with the Dead. I'm like, yeah, great.
Ryan Walker just threw a pitch about 20 feet outside. There's a problem. I'm not saying he's Lamont Wade Jr., but this is what I was saying about how the Giants were culpable. He's got to go somewhere. Like, go down to Arizona, chill out, talk to some, pitching coaches within the organization. I don't know, Vogelsong, whomever. Get your mind right and come back. Yeah, that's got to be a catch by Ramos. Dropped it. Got to get some help. But he's just not the same guy.
Oh.
And he's not going to – you can't put him in high leverage situations now. You're getting to the point where it's like Rodriguez and Duvall scares the hell out of you still, but it's Rogers, Rodriguez, and Duvall now. And Walker is kind of a spare part right now. You can't trust him in these situations anymore.
Anthony Merkovich, Grateful Dead, one long same song.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all right. They were all right. I mean, it's.
I went with a buddy down to Vegas and we camped out. Right. I saw two shows and I had a good time, but it was everything around it. You know what I mean? It was everything. And so we camped out. We saw a couple of shows. Sting opened for one of the shows that I was at. Sting opened for the Dead. And it was cool.
We got this one from I'm not Niner Goat 16 says, got blocked on a Braves page. I'm here where Larry supports free speech. My Braves will find a way to lose this game.
I don't know. You probably haven't watched enough. Oh, yeah, you're a Niner Goat. You've watched enough Giants. I just get, can the Giants get a key hit? I mean, that's what it comes down to here. But they are their key 4 runs, so we'll see.
I mean, seriously, we need. We got to win the game. Thomas Selman says, top 5 ballparks. Love Petco and Camden Yards. Oracle is on the bucket list. I definitely recommend Truist in Atlanta too.
I have not been to that park. I don't know that park.
I mean, okay, I've been to Wrigley, and Wrigley's awesome. I've been to Fenway. Fenway's amazing.
Yep.
What's amazing about Fenway is beyond the outfield fence, they have like a row of bars that are really amazing. I mean, they've got the arcade bar. They've got all kinds of bars out there on Lansdowne Street. So, I would say Wrigley is probably my favorite. it just has an amazing feel to it. It just has an amazing.
It's so fun. Cubby
vibe.
Bear in Murphy's bleachers, and I mean, it's so cool.
The whole thing. I mean, the brick.
Yeah.
How close you are to the field. Yeah. The fact that you're right there in Wrigleyville in the middle on the north side.
It's awesome.
It's amazing. It's like a little street carnival going on. But Boston. I mean, Wrigley, Fenway, Dodger. I mean, I think Petco is pretty amazing. In San Diego, I think that's a great.
I think it's underrated. I think Petco's underrated. I think that what are they calling it in Seattle? T-Mobile. I think that's very underrated.
Safeco.
It used to be Safeco. I think it's T-Mobile. I think that's underrated. You know, the one park that everybody
I went to
loves.
Some old ones. I went to Old Comiskey. It had tons of
old Yankee Stadium. I went to
Old County Stadium.
Did you really?
In Milwaukee? Yeah.
Milwaukee. Sorry.
So my family and my mom's side are all White Sox fans, and when I was a little kid, the White Sox and the Brewers were in the American League, and so the White Sox, when they would play the Brewers, we would go up to County Stadium, and dude, the smell of the brats and the barbecue and the
I've been to Miller. I have
music,
family.
And it was really cool.
County
Stadium was
fun.
really cool.
The fans are fun there. I think, and the one stadium, and I hate to say it, PNC Park, everybody loves. Everybody loves PNC Park. And to me, it's just okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a great park. It's a great park. But what they say is, you got this bridge and you got this and you got, well, I think Oracle is just a better version of it. So I like PNC Park, and I'm not saying it's not a top 10 park, but how most people rate PNC Park is like Oracle Park of the newer parks, Oracle Park, PNC Park. And I like Seattle better. I like Petco. I think that's cool, right in the middle of the city and everything in San Diego. I think that's really cool. Target Field's very underrated in Minnesota. I think that's
I'll give you
really
another one
cool
that was
park.
really underrated, and I don't know why. It probably had the shortest lifespan of almost any stadium ever.
Uh-huh.
But I liked the old ballpark in Arlington where the Rangers were before Globe Life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did a radio show for KRLD Radio.
Yeah,
and
their in Dallas.
Their radio station was in the right field corner next to the Hard Rock Cafe in that park.
In fact, the new park, they've got a broadcast booth in there too that's pretty cool. Yeah,
I mean,
so does Fenway. They have EEI in there. Yeah,
I loved the ballpark in Arlington. It had grass in center field. It just was incredibly beautiful. Now it was windy and hot wind. It was like a very windy, hot place. But beyond that, I mean, it was amazing. Now the new one's got a dome, right?
Oh, Ramos just got thrown out. He singled the lead off the inning, and he just got cut down at second. I don't think it's going to be close. That sucks. Because I like that idea. I like trying to get him into scoring position. He got a bad jump. Yeah, and that was a bad slide, too. He should have sucked that arm in and tried to get that outside arm in there. Yeah, he's out.
He was out twice because he's also out off the bag, I think.
People are chiming in with Camden Yard. That's a great park. Yeah,
I've never been to Camden
Great
Yards.
park.
Never been to Camden.
Yeah, it's been a number of years, but it's a great park, and it's in a Baltimore's not the safest town in America, but it's in a cool area, and it's just a cool park, and yeah, that's a cool spot. And it was cool because we went back there and we went to New York and saw Yankee Stadium, and we went to Fenway and we went to Baltimore. We did one of those things, like an East Coast kind of a swing on ballparks in the summer. It was fun. But yeah, Camden is very nice. Very nice park.
I'll tell you one of my favorite spring training yards. I love Salt River.
That's nice.
In Salt River, Arizona, wherever that is. But it's cool. The Rockies and the who is it? Rockies, White Sox. I think Rockies
I think so.
And White Sox share it, or Rockies and Diamondbacks share it.
Is that what it is?
And it's awesome, man. It's got a berm that goes from the left field foul line to the right field foul line, and the berm is the entire thing. So it's almost like it's like the size berm that you would see like at Shoreline Amphitheater. It's just like it's a huge. I mean, like there's a berm at Scottsdale, but it's small. I mean, it's really small. It's almost like a postage size. The one at Salt River, I mean, you can sit out there on that grass. There's all kinds of people out there, and it's a great place to see to watch a game, have a beer, something about spring training, dude. I love spring training.
Well, you did it this year, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough to anybody. I took my son in 2016, and we saw 2 games a day. We'd do a day game, night game, day game, night game, and we literally did it for 6 straight days down there. And it was so much fun, and I got to give credit to both teams. The A's and the Giants both took care of us. So I've told you this before. I took my son into the clubhouses. He met all the, the Brandon Belts and Posies and Crawfords, and he was watching batting practice when none of the other fans could get in. And I took the A's the same way, and they were so nice to him. And that was the year the Cubs won the World Series, and so Euclid was working for the Cubs. And so he got into that dugout, and it was like Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant. Like, I have pictures of him getting autographed balls from all those guys. He was working for the Cubs, and he was like, "Yeah, come on into the dugout." Joe Madden was their manager. Like, I cannot recommend highly enough spring training for if you got kids of a certain age to take them down. Now you don't have to do some crazy thing like we did. We took 12 games in 6 days, but it's so much fun,
dude.
Man.
I mean, I went this year with my 2 oldest boys. My youngest guy couldn't go because he was playing baseball. But my kid at DVC and Kev, Ben and Kev, they went with me and we drove.
Oh, cool.
And dude, I mean, it's a long drive.
It is.
It's a road trip.
It is a long drive.
It's a road trip. And we had some amazing streams. We streamed from our Airbnb. I played a round of golf with my younger son. We went to 3 or 4 Cactus League games. Went out to dinner a few times.
Great restaurants down there. Jeez.
Dude, I'll tell you a spot. We went to a spot that was just so freaking amazing. I almost want to show you a picture of this spot. It's so incredible. It's called a Different Point of View restaurant, and it's at the Point Hilton Resort up in the Tipatillo Cliffs, and it is epic. An epic place. I mean, it's just one of the most amazing looking views I've ever seen. I mean, it overlooks the desert, and it's just spectacular. I want to give you a glimpse of so you can see this thing is unbelievable. Maybe I'll email it to myself and I'll show it to you. Unbelievable. I mean, just really, really unbelievable. You're talking about just really, picturesque view of Arizona, and it's at the Point Hilton Resort, so it's up in the hills.
Yeah,
and it's just spectacular, just absolutely spectacular. I'll see if I can show it to you. The picture is just, it's such an amazing place. The view at this place, it's this 5-star steakhouse, and we went there and just had an amazing dinner. Let me see if I can show you the picture.
By the way, Craig Kimbrell is on the mound, and he's almost picked off Jung-Hoo Lee. Oh, he did. He just picked off Jung-Hoo Lee. That's great. So Ramos would let off the inning with a single. He gets thrown out at second, and Jung-Hoo Lee, Craig Kimbrell just picked him off first. He almost got him once, and then he just got him on the second.
Wilmer, solo jack.
And so now Wilmer's up.
That's crazy.
God, this is what their offense does, like late in games. My God. I know we got Braves fans watching you, but hold my beer. I mean, you think your team?
Because I wagered on them.
I mean,
if I hadn't wagered on them.
Yeah.
So here is a picture of my 2 kids.
Oh, what a great picture, man. That's a great picture.
Look at that. Look at that view of that place. Now it's a little blurry.
Nah, that's nice. You can see it.
Yeah. But I mean,
Andy's out of the inning.
Freaking believable, unbelievable view of this place. Here's this other view. This is really incredible. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Yeah, here we go. This is the view that you get from this hotel, from the patio of this Point Hilton Resort. It's just spectacular. Wait a second. Wait. Hold on. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Share screen. Yeah, look at this, Johnny.
Oh man! So you guys were staying there during spring training?
So we just went to this place for dinner, but it's like a 5-star steakhouse atop this Hilton Resort, And, it's just, an amazing dinner. It was probably, for the three of us, it was probably $400. I mean, it was expensive, but dude, it was amazing. And, they have a cigar bar and a veranda. And you can sit out there on the patio and smoke a cigar, have a drink. And now it was March, so it was a little chilly up there at night. But if you go in like June or July, I'm sure it's just unbelievable.
Right.
Unfreaking.
Yeah, that's nice. To that valley, that's nice. That's really nice.
Anyway, Fujisimi says legend has it guys still making beaded necklaces. Yeah,
your guy. That's
my
classic.
Roommate, my old roommate.
So the Giants run themselves out of that inning. So
what a nightmare inning!
2-run home run by Matt Olson, and Ryan Walker's out of the game. They go to the bottom, and then Ramos gets on, hits a single. Then he's thrown out at second base, and then Lee gets on, and he almost got picked off the first time, which you'd think, okay, his move now. Nope. And then Kimbrel picks him off, not a second time, but on a second shot. And so then Wilmer's out, and now we're to the top of the eighth. So that's just typical of their offense. I mean, they get a few runs. They even added on. They got the sacrifice fly from Dominic Smith, so it was 4-2, and you're thinking, okay. And then Ryan Walker was just terrible. Tyler Rogers into the game, tied at 4, top of the eighth. Come on, man.
We have this one from Niner Goat 16. He says, remember when Larry said Trey Lance would win multiple Super Bowls? LOL. We have some bad takes. All right. Well, I don't know. I definitely had hope for Trey Lance. Didn't materialize.
We do like 400 shows a year and then a bunch of other stuff. Like, I don't know how much content you put out, but I probably put out 4 or 5 things a day. So, I mean, times, I think I take Sundays off unless there's breaking news. But okay, 5, let's see, 150. So, like 200 videos a month times 12, that's 2,400 videos. Probably going to say something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing, too, is that I try to say something. Most people don't. So if you try to say something, if you try to put your balls on the line, if you try to make a statement, you're going to get some right and some wrong. It's the way it is. Some people do these jobs and they never say anything.
Right.
And anybody can wait until it happens and says, hey, I'll wait. It's kind of with the draft this year. I think Nick Martin's going to be really good. And I put it out there. I said, hey, I think Nick Martin's going to be great. And guys like, well, you wait, you should wait. And it's like,
we can't.
First of all, I'm doing it now. I'm telling you my opinion now. Anybody, I mean, do you understand that? Anybody can wait until after the guy's good and then tell you that he's good. Why would I wait? If I'm going to tell you I think he's good when I think he's good. And if that's ahead of time, then that's ahead of time. And if I'm right, I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Plus, I don't even get upset about it. Like if I assess something and I think this or that and I say it, it's like, so what? Like so many people in our industry, especially, the talking head shows, they always try to make some sort of an excuse up to why they said what they didn't come true. It's like both of you and I, right. Both of you and I did sports radio, close to 30 years. And it's like, I said stuff all the time and I don't care if it was right, wrong, or indifferent. Like you said, at least you said something. I know a lot of people who get smothers in their ass because they sit on the fence the whole time. And that's fine. If that's the way you want to do things, that's fine. But like you said, I'm going to, I'll give you what I think. And sometimes it's wrong a lot, sometimes right, sometimes so what? I mean, it's just, that's the whole point of it. Right. And I'm not a hot take artist. This is what I really think. The one thing, not to get away from this, is we're going to get a second out from Rogers now, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th here on bottom of the pint, 4-4, by the way, if you're just joining us, Braves and Giants. The only thing that, and I like Nick Martin, and when they drafted him, I watched a ton of tape. The only thing I thought of Nick Martin when I saw him at the podium was that dude ain't very big. And philosophically, it looks like the 49ers are, with Collins inside and with CJ West inside, that their philosophy has turned into, we're going to protect Warner, we're going to protect a guy like Martin. Because Martin is that thing that is so hot in the league right now, which is kind of part safety, part linebacker, but, super speed. Like Seattle drafted that kid out of South Carolina, and I know you stay up on everything. That dude is going to be starting at safety / linebacker for them. They love him up there in Seattle. I've talked to my friends about it, but they take him in the second round. They moved up to the safety out of South Carolina. Kid's about 225 pounds.
Yeah, what's his name?
Nick Emanori or whatever.
Nick Emanori. Yeah.
And
he's great. He's great.
And he's a safety, and he's bigger than Nick Martin.
And but it's the same position that they're really going to play now, a little bit different in the Niners system. But I mean, Rodgers gets out of it because that's what he does. So we're going to the bottom of the 8th. But I only get concerned about, because I saw Nick Martin, I'm like, that's a small dude. Like when Fred Warner is 6'2", like 235. Nick Martin is at least listed at like 6 foot 220. But he's not a big dude, so he's got to get protected.
No, but I mean, the one thing about Nick Martin that I love is that the guy has legit 4.3 speed. Mm-hmm. He's got great instincts.
Yeah, that's good.
And he's got 26 reps at 225. So that tells me this guy is really dedicated, because you don't get 26 reps as a linebacker unless you're spending some serious time in the weight room. So he's a dedicated guy. He's very serious. He doesn't want to be good. He wants to be great. He doesn't want to make the team. He wants to lead the team.
Yeah.
So I personally think, I hear what you're saying. He is kind of the poster child of all gas, no brakes, which Robert Saleh loves. He is 220 pounds, so there is that, can you keep bodies off of his legs? But I'll say this. I interviewed Johnny Holland this week, and Johnny looked me right in the eye. Yeah, and he said, there's no doubt. He said, there's no doubt that Nick Martin's going to be a very good NFL player.
Well, and he would have been.
It may not be day one.
Right.
It may take a little bit of time, but he said there's no doubt he's going to be a great player.
Well, that's what, a couple of things the 49ers have put themselves in a position, and again, it's bottom of the pint, and we'll get back to the Giants when the game comes back, 4-4 going to the bottom of the 8th. They put themselves in a position where they need some of these guys to come through right away. And I don't, it's not that I don't like Nick Martin. I do. I just think philosophically they're changing, which is, let's get two big defensive tackles who can push the pocket, but also kind of tie up these guards so they can't get out to our linebackers. And therefore, Nick Martin is able to run and able to do these things. Because like I said, it's kind of what the NFL has come into, like a star position where they have these guys who are similar size, but they're super fast. Martin's a super fast guy. And if you can give him lanes to attack and get upfield, kind of like what their defensive line does, then I think he can be effective. But like you said, I mean, people forget Fred Warner wore 48 as a rookie, and he was good. He wasn't great like he is now. He's good. He was good. It takes a minute, but they've got so many young guys that they've got to come through defensively. Is they need a few of those guys to step forward like the minute they get onto the field. That's the kind of pressure they put on themselves, having let all these guys go in the offseason. Bottom at 8.
What do you
Chapman up?
What do you think of Bryce Huff? What do you think of the Niners now that you've had the chance to see the draft and kind of think about where they're at?
I think they're going to I think just because Jared Brown just had surgery and Malik Mustafa, we found out about the knee. I think they're going to go get a safety. I can't believe they haven't signed a guy like Blackman, who's still like 27, 28 and is effective. I watched him a lot at Utah. I mean, that kid can play. So I don't necessarily think they're done, number one. The Bryce Huff thing is awesome. I mean, I know people in Philly are trying to say he stinks or whatever, but I'm sure you saw this. Fangio the other day came out at OTAs and said he had a broken hand. Like he couldn't play. And then by the time he came back, guys had passed him up. Nolan Smith had, got going and they were asking him, and you were there. Bosa said this the other day. I don't, I get it. You're chasing the money if you're Bryce Huff, but like, you've got to go to a defense that does what your skill set is. Philadelphia was asking him to sometimes go forward, sometimes go backwards. He's a third down pass rush specialist who can't set an edge and isn't a linebacker. If you put him in the right position, which is coming on third down in a wide 9 and pin your ears back and just get the quarterback, he can get those 10 sacks. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to have what they call, the Niners call, and this, a turbo package, which is their pass rushing package. And Mikael Williams is an edge setter, had the fewest amount of snaps in any edge rusher, and he's 20, so it's going to take a minute to rush the passer. He'll set an edge first and second. He'll move inside over a guard and third down. Huff comes in opposite Bosa. They're going to get after the quarterback, and he doesn't have to worry about, setting an edge or doing any of that kind of stuff. They're not going to ask him to do that. They're not going to ask him to go backwards like a linebacker. If you ask Bryce Huff to pin his ears back and go get the quarterback, he'll do that 10 times and have a high pressure rate. So Robert Saleh knows what position to put him in, and that's what he's going to do. It's a great trade.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like I asked Chris Kasarik about it this week, and he's like, I don't think people realize that there's a major difference between being in a 2-point stance and the
oh my god,
and he was talking about the step sequencing,
right?
And he's like, the step sequencing for a guy in a stand-up 2-point stance as a 3-4 outside linebacker is so night and day different than the sequencing for your steps in a 4-3 wide 9 alignment, that it's so different that I just think that it's hard to get your rhythm. And if you like to put your hand in the dirt, and this guy really does, this guy not only goes 3-point stance, and Huff will go 4-point stance. Oh, there we go. Casey, foul. Thought Casey.
This is their organizational depth wise as far as the Giants. I mean, like, remember 2021 and like everybody came up was awesome. Like Casey Schmidt's hitting a $194. He can't figure it out, but they have to play him or pinch hit him. They don't have anybody else. And then theirs is a bat. Oh, nice a bat. I mean, Jesus. What happened to their organizational depth? They just have nothing.
What happened to the offensive players in the game of baseball?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
that was horrible at bat.
It's like guys will be hitting like 220.
Yeah.
People be like, yeah, but you know what? It's not that bad. It's like, what? 220 is not that bad, but it's kind of 220 is more like 250 from 10 years ago.
So here's Willie Adames. And
Adames,
before the season, we'd be like, oh, yeah, Willie Adames being up in a key spot late in the game. That'd be great. But it's like, swinging it off speed. Just, he's in his head, man. That's what I think for him. He's not hitting with any confidence. And that's what I was saying. His last at bat, he swung at the first pitch. He trickles it to third. His at bat here, off speed gets him, and he fouls one off left. And all of a sudden, Willie Adames is 0-2. It's like, dude, relax.
When you're in a funk, you're just living. You're just constantly 0-2.
That's what he is. He's 0-2. He's not going to see a strike at least until 3-2.
See, now here's the one thing I don't like: extra innings.
He's awful.
To me, if you're going to have the pitch clock, why have the extra inning rules?
That's a great point.
You have the pitch
I
clock.
agree with you.
Game, you've already got.
It's going to go fast. Don't worry.
It's going to go fast.
Unless there's a replay, of course, and then it'll take 10 minutes.
So he struck out. Giants go 1-2-3 in the eighth.
Just a completely non-competitive at bat, and there's nothing they can do because they signed him for 7 years. But this is a lot shorter of a situation. But they did it last year and they did it the year before. Farhan had the last 2 years before he got fired really bad signings in the offseason, and they dumped him in the regular season. I don't think you can dump 6 more years of Willie Adames' contract, but if I was the Giants, I'd try, because this ain't working, man. I know we're only, a third of the way into his first season, but
that at bat
was horrible. That at bat was horrible.
There's no move to make.
Yeah, you're right.
From the Niner perspective, do you think they'll make a move? I mean, where do you see them? Because right now they're favored to win the NFC West. They've got the third best over/under of any team in the conference. Are they good enough as is, or would you try to add a piece to their puzzle?
Yeah, it's going to be tough at this particular point. But like I said, there must be something with Julian Blackmon. I think you need a safety. I would have thought that. I'm not a Jared Brown fan. I think it was with his 4.65 speed as a free safety, that's opening yourself up to some things. But he's coming off of surgery. You got Malik Mustafa coming off a knee. I know they got the kid from Kansas State, in the 6th round or whatever, 5th round, and he runs a 4.37. But I can't count on that kid at the last, last line of my defense. They've got to find somebody. Like a couple of years ago, they found Gibson. I don't know what the deal is with Justin Simmons. They need a safety. And I think they'll get one late in this process. Probably, a guy like Justin Simmons, who wasn't very good in Atlanta last year after many great years in Denver, is probably asking for too much at this point. Or, they probably don't want to be in training camp, to be honest. They're like, if I sign now, I got to go to training camp. Hell with that. So there might be that. And then, you and I have had this conversation. I mean, do they need another receiver? I can't believe Cooper is sitting out there, but then you saw it up close and personal, and Brock Purdy was saying great things about him. I like Jordan Watkins. I watched him a ton at Ole Miss. And they've got a nice, wide receiver. A.J. Brown went there, and DK Metcalf went there. And I like Jordan Watkins. I liked when they picked him. It's risky on rookies, especially receivers. You got to learn some intricacies. But I mean, if Jordan Watkins, running a 4.37 can be decent, then I don't need to go out and get Amari Cooper. I
mean, I thought Jacob Cowing looked amazing. Do you think it's weird, by the way, that Melvin has gone to Doval in the 9th in a tie game?
I guess at home, that's what you're going to do. Go to your closer, because then if you score, that's it, right? You're in the bottom of the 9th. So, yeah, I get it. I think Randy Rodriguez should be the closer, but that's not going to happen.
He does have great stuff.
God, he is sick.
He's really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the Niners. I mean, I love what I've seen from Jordan Watkins, Jacob Cowing. I think Garendo's going to bust out in year 2.
Do you?
I really do. Yeah, Garendo I think is going to be really good because Garendo just looks great on the practice field and he's so fast. And
he just needed reps. He just needed reps
attitude.
in this system, right? I mean, put your foot in the ground and go, dude. Like, just get up the field.
He can really catch.
Yeah.
So I like Garendo. I like Cowing. I like Watkins. I wouldn't mind if they could get like a Malachi Corley, just because I would love to see if they could have somebody replace Debo who could actually run the same plays that Debo ran. And I think a guy like Corley could do it.
Well, anyone who is a former Jet or is a Jet is definitely a candidate.
I'll tell you another interesting move that I thought was I brought up last night on the stream with Dieter, struck him out on the slider. We were doing bold predictions. We were doing a stream the other day. We said, let's go bold predictions. And I forget what he did. My bold prediction was Tanner Mordecai is going to beat out Mac Jones. Just because he knows the system. He's athletic. He's got a really good arm. Mac looked a little, I don't know, just a little high on some of the passes. He didn't look as good. He's obviously not nearly as mobile as Mordecai. So I was just saying, hey, I think Mordecai may beat out Mac Jones for that number 2 job. And I was just, extrapolating it out. If that happened, if Mordecai beat out Mac Jones, I read an article yesterday that Shane Steichen is pretty much done with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
And you know what? They're going with Daniel Jones, and they have Riley Leonard. But let's just say Mac Jones does get beaten out by Tanner Mordecai. I think the Niners would probably entertain offers for Mac Jones at that point just because they would think he would be in a bad mood being the third guy. And I'll tell you, if I could trade Mac Jones to the Colts or release Mac Jones, let him go to the Colts and sign Anthony Richardson after Richardson gets cut by the Colts, I'd rather have Anthony Richardson as my third string quarterback than Mac Jones. That's if Mordecai beats out Mac Jones like I think he will. I think I'd rather go for Richardson and try to develop, a guy who's 6'4", 250, runs 4.4. He's got a. To me, if you like Trey Lance and you believed in Trey Lance, this guy's got the skill set.
He's much more athletic than what Trey was.
This guy's got the skill set that that they wanted Trey to have.
I just think these teams. Yeah, Matt Olson strikes out 2 Duvall. So what's that? 2 out.
2 out.
The thing is that these teams. I know it's hard evaluating this position. I mean, we know Trey Lance and all those kind of things. As Ozuna steps into the box, 4-4 tie in the 9th here, and Duvall's trying to get him out, and the Giants can try to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Experience matters. Stop drafting Anthony Richardson's. Stop drafting Trey Lance. Stop drafting. It matters, man. I mean, the fact that Brock Purdy played for 4 years, and you're seeing these guys. Anthony Richardson. What did he have? Like 14 starts or something. Yeah, right. I mean,
they just drafted Curtis Rourke, another guy with a lot of.
You got to do that now. If you're going to put Richardson on your team, what I would do, like Seattle's going to be doing this, like Jalen Milroe.
What do you think of Richardson? I mean, you could at least develop Richardson as like a goal line specialist.
At least do something like that. Then give him a package because to me, I'm hearing out of Seattle that Milroe's not beating out Sam Darnold, obviously, and they have Drew Lock as the number 2, so he's going to be the 3. But what
you saw that, right? That Greg Bell from the Tacoma whatever said that Darnold threw 3 picks and two picks and 3 passes or something like that.
Then Mike McDonald came out, their head coach, was like, it's no big deal. He's our starter. I just think that what they're going to do, and what I've heard out of Seattle is that they're not going to just have Milroe sit on the sidelines. He's not going to start. He's got a long way to go as far as Duvall struck out the side. Yastrzemski leads off. Bailey, Fitzgerald. It's so painful to look at that. Those are the bottom of their lineup. It's so painful.
Maybe Yaz hits one out.
But they're going to have a package for Milroe. He's inexperienced. He's not inexperienced like Trey was. Played in the SEC at Alabama, but he's not ready. He's not even close to ready from an accuracy standpoint. But the kid is Lamar Jackson. I mean, he runs in the 4.3s. He's a ridiculously good runner. And so Seattle's like, well, if we don't use this guy in the red zone, we're stupid. So they're actually putting a whole package together. Well, to me, Anthony Richardson, I don't think he'll ever make it because there's not going to be a team, if he goes to another team, that's going to give him the runway that he needs to be successful.
But just hand him the ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he's 240 pounds. He's
running
got
in the
4.3
speed. Yeah.
Just run him. Just run him.
That's what I would do is I'd say, okay, if I'm, being innovative and the Niners struggling in the red zone and all that stuff. And I know Christian McCaffrey was out and all that kind of stuff, but when you look at an athlete that's as big, as fast, and as strong as a guy like Richardson is, find a package for him, man. Why don't teams do more of that? I mean, New Orleans has done it with Taysom Hill for 10 years. And why isn't anybody else emulating that? He's incredibly successful, even when it's coming. Like, Taysom Hill's in the game. He's going to get the ball. Taysom Hill's in the game. He's going to get the ball. Or they're going to snap it to him. He's going to run. He still makes it. Like, he still can run. And it's going to him. So why don't more teams do that? I don't understand.
I don't
either.
They
should. It's effective.
It makes no sense. Quick Warrior thought. Are they going to move off of Kuminga or are they going to keep Kuminga? The move that I would make, and I'm telling you, I've watched this, I've studied this. Kuminga to the Bulls with something else for Kobe White and their first round pick, and then go draft the Stanford center. His name's Maxime Reynaud. I don't know if you've seen Maxime Reynaud, but I'm telling you, this got a lot of Quentin Post to him. He's kind of a shooting big man, but I think he's even better than Quentin Post.
As long as Encarnacion is going to pinch hit for Yaz here, so we'll give you a little play-by-play here. But
he looked so bad the other day. Oh my God, Encarnacion missed.
Terrible.
He missed the slider the last couple at bats I saw by.
He had a liner to first, but that first game was super rough. So they're just doing right left. I mean, they just didn't want to. Personally, I don't know. I'd probably still rather have let Yaz go left than Encarnacion. He hasn't looked good, but does
he have power? I mean,
as long as you got to use Kuminga to get a power play to get size. I mean, you look at the Western Conference. Oklahoma City has Holmgren and Artenstein and hard liner. He hit it hard, but right at the shortstop. They have Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. Minnesota has the size that we saw. Houston has the size that we saw. Everybody has size. The only teams who don't have size are the Lakers because they traded it away, and the Warriors. And you can't compete in the Western Conference without any size. So they've got to be able to use Kuminga for the size. And the other thing where I think people are erring when it comes to Kuminga and possibly trading him or not, it's up to him. At this point now, because they haven't played him, he would have to sign the extension. And the further you give the other team, the more you're going to get in return. So in other words, he's restricted this offseason. After this season, he's unrestricted. So then you have no choice. So all the power right now is in the hands of Jonathan Kuminga. And if he tells you he doesn't want to sit on the damn bench anymore and get jerked around by Steve Kerr and the Warriors, then they have to trade him. Because if he says, look, I'm not hey, we're going to offer you this, I'm not signing an extension. And the Warriors aren't giving him a max deal or whatever he thinks he's worth. So I don't see how he could stay around. And so you've got to use Kuminga to get size. So however you do that, like you said, whether it's through getting, a Bulls deal and you get a pick and you get some size there, or whether it's Miles Turner, Naz Reid, whatever, you got to get size.
I mean, Naz Reid not bad, but I don't like Brook Lopez.
And everyone's talking about signing him. By the way, shocking breaking news that Patrick Bailey struck out. Very shocking. Very shocking.
And he's walking back to the dugout just looking super bewildered.
By
the way, Anthony Catania says, here at the shop, just finishing up our monthly trade night, watching while I'm cleaning up. Love the show. And we should tell people our show is brought to you by Sharp Corners Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. And Anthony Catania is the owner. He's there at 831-521-5264. And he's a great follow on Instagram at Sharp Corners 831 on the IG. So give him a follow on Instagram. Give him a call at 831-521-5264. Or just stop by 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove for Sharp Corners sports cards and collectibles for all your sports cards and collectible needs. And they do a Friday night trade night where they usually close down the sidewalks and people get to kind of walk around and have some food and kind of shop the shops, and very, very cool. So it's something they do in the warmer months down there along the Monterey Peninsula. So if you're ever down there on a Friday night, they have their monthly first Friday of every month. They have their monthly trade night, and it's really cool. It's really cool. So check them out. Sharp Corners, sports cards, and collectibles, and we appreciate them being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. I don't know what to make of the Warriors. I mean, I understand the people that are critical of Kerr, but I mean the people that go really far and are like fire him, I don't get that. I mean, come on,
right?
But I definitely don't think like some of the talk around the Warriors is like they can't go young. They've got to go old. And it's like, you know what? Keep building. Don't stop building because, you're going to need your young players to be play key roles going forward. So, I mean, this idea that you never want to draft anybody ever again, I mean, how did you get Draymond? How did you get Steph? How did you get Clay? How did you get Barnes? How did you get Festus?
Mm-hmm.
You drafted all those guys. And I kind of feel like the Warriors have drafted pretty well, except they have a second-round pick this year. That's all they got. But I think it's time for Kuminga to leave. And I'm tired of watching the stupid game plan that the Warriors have where Kerr knows that there's a very good chance he's not going to play this guy in the playoffs, but they don't trade him at the deadline. It's like, trade the guy at the deadline if your coach isn't going to play him in the playoffs.
Right.
How hard is that to understand?
Yeah. And at this point, like I said, it's switched. The Warriors had the power. Now Kuminga has the power, and he's not signing up for another year of this. He's just not. He's not going to get jerked around.
Even though Joe's kind of sucking up to him.
Yeah, but he's not going to do it. I mean, unless they max him out. I think the thing is, and you hear it out of his camp, is that he wants to find out if he's any good. And someone will pay him because he's got so much athletic potential. Someone's going to pay him more than the Warriors would end up paying him. And I think that his agent's going to go out and try to find that team so that he can play because, it's one of those things where, you're always looking over to the sideline. Oh, I just missed a defensive assignment. Is he going to pull me out? I mean, you can't play like that. You can't play any sport like that. A quarterback can't sit there and go, if I throw a pick, am I out? A baseball player can't say if I don't get a hit here, am I out? Because it's in the back of their mind. And Kuminga to me is constantly looking over to Steve, like, is he yanking me or do I get some rope here? And he doesn't get rope. And the only reason he played in the playoffs was because of injuries. And was anybody surprised that he did what he did? I wasn't. So all of a sudden, here's Kuminga going to sign up for another year of that. He's not. He's not signing up for that.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I just don't find it. It's not plausible. I mean, I've talked to different people about this. Everybody's got a strong feeling. It's not plausible that Steve didn't talk to Draymond, Jimmy, and Steph about Kuminga. It's not.
Right.
So there's no way. It's no way those guys are sitting there going, "We want Kuminga to play."
Not at all.
And Steve is saying, "No, right. Hey Jimmy, hey Draymond, hey Steph, go fly a kite. I'm the big, what here."
You're right.
No, come on. If those guys wanted this guy to play, he'd be playing.
Right. There's no doubt.
I mean, Steve's the coach, but come on.
Get down. All right. We got a little speed on the base pass. He's got to steal a base here, right? I mean, I don't care.
Two out knock.
And Tyler Fitzgerald's got some speed. He's got to steal a base.
Bloop and a blast. Bloop and a blast.
Yeah, he's got to steal a base.
Now we got to
steal a base here. Because Ramos has been hit. Ramos has a couple hits tonight, so I don't know when he's going.
You got to steal.
You got to steal a base. Yeah, no question.
This is where I used to love. This is where
Ramos
I used to love
Fitzgerald the first.
I used to love Barry Bonds because Barry Bonds could steal this base, like his whole career. Anytime he had to have a base, he could steal it.
That's a terrible. God, I hate umpires. There's one strike zone. There's one strike zone. It changes the whole at bat. Like it's in and up. That's not a strike, and it's not even close. God, how do you miss that call, man?
That was a bad call.
God,
let's go Ramos. Hit one out.
He got picked off. Oh my God, the Giants suck. I'm sorry, and I know we're positive.
You got to be kidding me.
But think about this tonight. Ramos got thrown out at second.
Fuck.
Jung-Hoo Lee got picked off first, and now Tyler Fitzgerald's been picked off first. Like, God, what the fuck? I mean, seriously.
Tyler Fitzgerald.
And that's not even close. And they know you're going. They know you're going, and you get picked off. God.
Oh, my God.
I mean, if you're Bob Melvin, at the end of you got two guys picked off. Look, Ramos got caught stealing. It happens. But two guys get picked off.
Steven Saunders, absolutely unacceptable.
Garbage. That's just, I mean, you're at the professional level, man.
Oh, we're
They
in
know
Ghost
you're
Runner
running.
territory.
Yeah,
Oh,
but now we're down to the now we're back to the
God.
Ghost Runner, which the Niners, the Giants don't do very well.
Oh, no.
God, that's such a killer. Your best hitter is up, and you do have to steal a bag. But I mean, you're Tyler Fitzgerald, and we're both fond of this term, and we learned it long ago. Who was that linebacker with the Niners that you're the one who came up with this? What would you say you do here?
Gerald Hodges.
Right. You're Tyler Fitzgerald. You're okay defensively. Somehow you don't have any power whatsoever. You've got some athleticism. You get on base in the 9th inning. You've got to steal a base. That's why you're here. And you get picked off. What would you say you do here?
What was, I mean, that, you know,
just brutal.
I mean, it's just so
brutal.
Bad. So bad.
Second guy to get picked off for the Giants tonight. Brutal. That is just unacceptable
You
at that
just
level.
can't make multiple outs on the base pass. When you're a horseshit offensive team,
Right.
you cannot make outs on the base pass.
And plus, that's your best hitter. Like Ramos is up.
They should find those guys. You should get fined for that.
Plus, you got your best hitter up, man. You know, I mean, seriously, it's been a great story for Flores, but Ramos is by far your best hitter. And you're leaving him at the dish in the 9th inning because you get picked off. Like, God, really?
So wait a second. Who's the Ghost Runner now?
The last batter who was up for each team, so I'm not sure.
Or no, is it Bailey? Or not Bailey? Is it Fitzgerald?
Yeah, it is Fitzgerald. Just because
is he?
I don't know if he's eliminated or not. That's a good question because Ramos is still up, so it's still the last guy, the player who made the last out. So that would be.
So that's actually good.
I think it would
that's
still
actually
be
good because
Yeah,
Fitzgerald's their fastest runner, right? Yeah. Fitzgerald's their fastest runner.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So that's not bad.
As long as he doesn't get picked off.
Rigged says 2 pickoffs is damn embarrassing. Yeah, it is.
It is. Like it and again, that's a situation where, look, I know Bob Melvin didn't do it, but what are you doing? Like, why are your guys getting picked off? Sorry. Like,
they're not even lefties.
Yeah, no. That's just and neither of them were close. Jung-Hoo Lee got picked off, it wasn't close, and Fitzgerald getting picked off, it wasn't close. I mean, it's not like the Giants went back to the tape. They're like, this guy's got smoked. That was weak.
Now, this is where baseball is so weird. So now they go to the guy on second, and it puts just utmost importance on this at bat.
Yeah.
If this guy gets an out, and as long as if this guy can move the runner to third, then they can score on a ground ball or fly ball. This is the most important guy. The first guy, the leadoff guy, can't make an out without moving the runner 90
non-productive out. Yeah, well, and that's what happened against the Padres. The first 2 games they lost in that series against the Padres, they lost ghost runner games. And their I mean, that's what I mean is they don't have guys with professional at bats. You know, in this park, you got to have professional at bats. You got to move runners over. The Giants don't do those kind of things. They don't do the small things, which is surprising given that Bob Melvin's their manager, is an old school guy, but they don't. They're not good at it.
Azekar on second. I don't know if he can run. Miller on the mound, the Giants' only lefty in the pen.
Yeah, that's going to move him.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you do here? Where are they at on the lineup? You walk somebody and set up a double play? That's what I would do. Because if you bring in the infield, it's like, ugh.
Let's see who's up. Panthers won the game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Eli White. I guess I don't want to walk Eli White. It's not like he's great, but I don't know. I like setting up a double play here rather than giving him the percentage and bringing the infield in.
Eli White, and then Harris is on deck. He's got 2 hits today.
Yeah. I think they're going to just go at him. All right.
Here we go. This is the most important batter of the game right here.
I mean, the one thing
this is where baseball gets really lame. It's like, okay,
I don't like the ghost runner.
It's 10 o'clock. It's not 1 a.m.
It started at
10
7:15.
o'clock on a Friday night.
Mhm.
Where's everybody go? I mean, come on. Nobody looks like they need to go. Everybody's hanging around.
No, you know what I hate? I hate being like almost ushered out of the park nowadays because things move so fast. And don't get me wrong, I like it. I like the timer now. I didn't at first, but I do now.
But here's the thing about it though.
You go to a game, you sit down, you're gone. Like it's fast. Like games go fast.
Nobody.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's what they needed.
Oh no, foul.
Got lucky.
Nobody ever walks, and nobody who doesn't work there walks out and says, "You know what? I wish the game was over sooner."
Right.
The only people that want to get out of there sooner are the only people that they ever ask about it. The announcers,
right?
The players, the media people. Yeah, guess what? They're all fucking working. They're all working.
Right? Yeah, they want to get the hell out of there.
You know, you go ask the people running the Demon and the Tidal Wave and whatever if they want to leave Great America, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to get out of here."
Exactly.
Everybody else is like, "No, I paid $100. I want to stay here all night." You know, it's like it's ridiculous. Why nobody wants to leave a game? There's nobody's like, "Oh, it was a great. How was the game? It was a great game. It would have been better if it had been ended 20 minutes earlier." I mean,
right?
What? Stupid. It's dumb.
No, they got moving fast.
It's like we're in this, and this is the mode that we're in, by the way, where it doesn't even matter about the time. It's like it could be a 2-hour and 10-minute game. There's still going to be people that try to leave in the 8th, just because they're nervous nitties.
No, I like the clock, but sometimes it does move pretty fast. I mean, you go to a ball game sometimes, and if it's over in like 2:10, 2:15, you're like, Jesus, I just got here, got a dog, got a beer. Got another beer, and now it's like the 7th inning.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's last call.
The other thing. This is expensive entertainment. I mean, and you added 2 different elements that both sped up the game. So yeah, I mean, the game's going to be a lot faster. But I mean, is a game better if it was an hour and 15 minutes? Is it better if it was 35 minutes? Is it better still if it's 10 minutes? I mean, what are we talking about? I mean.
Miller hit a bat, so now we got.
Wait, what?
Bases loaded. Miller hit a batter.
Oh, they pointed to the third base guy.
Yeah, so we're bases loaded, 2 out.
Great.
This is huge at bat. This is a bat of the game, man. Because if they can come back, I mean, that's the advantage of being the home team. If you can get this batter, they wear so much gear now. I mean, Barry started this, but they wear so much gear now that they're just not afraid to just stick their arms right over the plate.
No, I know.
You know,
that guy's got 9 different pads.
That's what I'm saying. Like pitchers nowadays have a real disadvantage because players are like, I'm geared up. I got gear everywhere on me. I can just lean right over the plate, and it's not even, I'll get hit.
Going to Spencer Bivens?
You've got to be kidding.
He's
my least favorite bullpen member, by the way.
He's
got
the worst stuff of your entire pen.
I don't love this.
Spencer Bivens here. I mean, this is what happens. This is what happens when you go to Doval early, when you go to Walker as early as they did. They're in a Spencer Bivens mode.
See, Spencer Bivens. I know, I get it. Left, right, left. I get it. But the other thing, too, is when you put someone in like this, and Bivens, like you said, has the worst stuff in their pen, the bases are loaded. So there's no room for error for you, and you just came into the game. Like, you don't get to warm up. You don't get to get a feel for the game. You don't get, like, you're bringing in a guy, and if all of a sudden, he goes, his first 2 pitches are balls and he's 2-0. Now he's like, damn, I just got into the game. I don't get any second to get a rhythm here because if I walk a guy, then they score. I just hate that. I don't like this move at all. And I get it, left, right. But there's also things, and this is why, I thought Bob was, I'm going to listen more to my gut. I mean, this is an analytical move, left, right. But it's like you're going to put your reliever, who's probably your worst reliever, into the game with the bases loaded and the game on the line. That's as high leverage.
Who doesn't strike anybody out?
Yeah, I don't like this. I'll go on record right now as not second guessing, first guessing. I don't like it. I hope he gets out of it, but that's a lot of pressure to put on a guy to come into a bases loaded situation. And no, that's like you got to put the ball on the plate, man.
Lefty righty games here. God damn.
Yeah, I don't like it. We'll see. Like I said, those people don't look like they need to go home. Everybody's staying. It's early enough. It's like, doesn't look too cold down in the city. Whatever.
All kinds of people watching that.
Yeah,
thing.
his numbers aren't horrible, but I don't love it. I don't love putting a guy in a game, automatic pressure, bases loaded, go for it.
I mean, it's not like Miller was some horseshit looking pitcher. He just shattered the last guy's bat. I mean, blew that bat into smithereens, and now you're going to bring in a guy that has the least stuff.
Because it's right.
What if this game goes long? How many pitchers do you have?
Right. And then he starts out with a ball. That's what I'm saying, is that the guy has no opportunity to get a rhythm.
If he walks this guy, I'm going to lose my ass.
I know, it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. You got a guy that's got a rhythm. I get it. He hit a guy, but now we're 2-0. See, this is worst case scenario.
Jesus.
Total worst case scenario because the guy doesn't get a second.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a bad move. I don't care if he gets out of it. It's a bad move. It's a bad move.
The 1-420 says because the computer told them to.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to do less of this under Bob. Oh, the guy, what a bailout. I mean, that was a strike, but I'm not swinging 2-0.
Dude, no way you're swinging.
But he did.
No way.
Fouled it back. All right, so now you're back.
This guy was swinging 2-0 with the
stupid.
bags loaded. I mean,
That's
that is
stupid.
idiotic.
Yeah, because you got to make him throw a strike first.
Make him throw a strike.
Yeah.
I'd take 2 pitches, especially if this one's not a strike.
Gets it back. Here we go. Let's end this. Because being at home obviously and having the runner on second.
See, this is what I'm concerned about right here. This guy doesn't have
the strikeout. The put away. He doesn't have the put
away pitch.
Right. Yeah.
He can get to 2 strikes. He can't put anybody away.
Oh man.
3-2.
3-2. That's what I mean. It's like you're getting a guy to the pen and you tell him right away, dude, you can't walk this guy. Cannot walk this guy.
They got him out. Did they get him out? They got him out.
Yeah, I'm behind. I'm behind like a pitch.
Wait a second. What happened there? I missed it too. I fast forwarded. Someone said you're behind. I went to fast forward.
Drowned in with Chapman.
I missed it here.
Okay. Barely got him. Damn, that was a slow roller and he almost beat it out.
3-2. Bivens, slow roller, runner in front of him. Chapman. Oh my God.
Barely got him.
Dude, Chapman. That was an incredibly hard play.
Yeah. Woo.
Dude, Chapman is a freaking unbelievable defender.
That was lucky, man.
No, get a freaking run. Look at this one. Jolts, Giants baseball equals torture. It does. It really does.
Dwayne's been Kuiper's been going to a lot of that lately. If you notice, they've been going to a lot of torture talk lately.
Mark Graves just got the job done, but he was breathing hard.
No, it's just look, he got out of it, so but it doesn't mean that was a great decision. I mean, I just think putting your worst reliever out there with the bases loaded, so he's got all that pressure, and then he goes down 2-0. I mean, they're just lucky. But now you're in a great spot because now you got Fitzgerald at second. Now here's a good question:
do you bunt?
Right, but it's your best hitter. Like I'm not betting my best hitter. No way, because my rest of my lineup stinks for the most part. So Ramos is not bunting here. No.
You hope Ramos hits one to the freaking Treasure Island.
Right, and so he's not bunting.
No.
Bunting for what? I mean, Jung-Hoo Lee's not terrible, but it's like the rest of your lineup is like
Josh Murasett. Going to Bivens is like Moody attempting a 45-yard field goal with 3 seconds left.
Wow. I'm telling you, man, on Moody, he can do all the mental exercises and do all that stuff he wants to do in this offseason. I don't care, Krug. I don't care if we're sitting in the booth and it's a preseason game. He misses a preseason field goal. I mean, it's going to be. He's going to be back at square one, man.
Get rid of him. Kid Trickster. I'd rather listen to Nick Sorensen ramble than watch Giants baseball.
This play is at first.
Just a communication breakdown. Breakdown. Nick, you were covering Justin Jefferson on that 97-yard pass with George Odom. What was the plan there? Just a communication breakdown. Just a communication breakdown.
Okay.
What do you mean? You mean like you forgot to put the right player on the field at the right time? Is that what you're talking about?
All right. So, look, he's got 3 singles on the night, Ramos. Could you just get one more and end this sucker?
Can somebody give me a reason to slam this?
Yeah, I'll slam one too. I got one sitting here. Look, I just poured one. Oh, my God. This is so ridiculous. The guy has 3 singles, and then he comes up with the guy in first pitch. Dude, God,
Do we want to stay here all night?
God, it drives me crazy.
When this game's over, by the way, we're going to hand the reins to Dan Coach Emilio, who joins us from his studio right now. Danny, good to see you, Danny. How are you?
Ridiculous.
Doing good, guys. How you doing?
How are you doing? Good. Are you drinking? Did you drink more than we did?
Yeah. Why are you doing so? Why are you doing
This is
so
very
good?
torturous.
Actually, I'm just kind of. Oh,
This is
What happened?
I'm
ridiculous.
probably ahead of you guys. This is bad, man.
I know. You
This
got a
is the
guy on
worst-
second. You held them down, and you still can't score. And you got this is the top of your lineup. These are supposedly your best
Yeah.
hitters.
Worst base
Ridiculous.
running I've ever seen. Tonight.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Especially, Lee getting picked, but you're in the ninth inning. Tyler Fitzgerald, that's your only real ability is to run, and you get picked off. Like,
yeah.
You got the right guy at the plate, right? You got
Yeah,
Wilmer.
Wilmer come through with 2 out here.
2 outs, man on third. Wilmer's 2 for 4. It feels like it's going to happen here, or it's not going to happen.
yeah, because then the rest of your lineup is.
Come on.
Plus, Wilmer would be your runner next inning. That's
Oh,
what's going on.
my
gosh.
God.
Oh, they'll bring in Johnson.
Yeah, they got-
Daniel.
yeah, they got-
they'll bring in
right.
that Daniel Johnson guy.
Yeah, they can't have Wilmer out there.
Oh my gosh.
Come
how
on,
about,
dude.
how about take a pitch and maybe a ball in the dirt?
I know they're so anxious. That's the other thing too.
Oh, that was a great take. That was a strike.
Mm.
You didn't think that was a strike? Inside corner? No? All right, 1-1. 1-1, Wilmer at the plate. You got the right guy at the plate.
Yeah,
And he swung through an 86-mile-an-hour slider.
yeah, we're not gonna be chugging these
Curveball.
beers, dude.
Oh, and pass ball. They win.
No.
They win on a
Serious?
pass ball.
Yes.
Are you ahead
That's
of
so
us?
giant. Yeah, you must
How
be.
could you be in Arizona ahead of us?
I don't know,
That's
how
so
is that?
Giants.
That's
Is that not
serious.
giant? They can't get a hit, but they'll take a pass
There
ball.
we go. There we go. All
No
right.
way.
There we go.
That's hilarious.
Oh
We
my
win.
goodness.
I wagered on this one tonight, by the way, Danny. I almost lost. There we go. Johnny, it's time
That
to
is
slam.
crazy.
There you go.
Winner, slammer right here.
That is so funny. Plus, that's just a straight pass ball too. Is that Murphy back there still? That's just a straight pass ball. I mean, he's got to catch that one. That wasn't even tough.
You know, here's the thing I do not understand. You got a runner on third. I've seen a couple teams do it. It should be mandatory in a late game like this. Go back to the regular catching where you're not going
Right.
down on knee,
No doubt. The guy on
trying to
third?
steal a low strike. I mean, if he's in a regular
What's more
catcher
important
stance
at that point?
he shuffles over and blocks that with
Easily.
his chest.
Easily.
That
Yeah.
is just so stupid.
It is stupid.
To go down on one, like you're going to steal a low strike versus a pass ball and lose the game. Just dumb.
It's a great win.
Ah.
Great win.
Wow.
All right, Danny.
That's
so
very
you're going to be
Giants.
doing post game, huh, Danny? You got
Yeah, we're
post game
ready-
coming up on the Dan Coach Amelia NorCal Sports Network.
Yeah, we're ready to roll right now. We're loaded up and rocked and ready. So we'll be over at NorCal Sports Network. We'll break down the game and see if I can stay awake.
Sounds
There you
good, Danny. Have a good night, Danny. We'll send people over to you right now.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
There you go.
Hey,
The great
all right.
Dan Coach Amelia.
Another one in the books.
Almost a 3-hour show. 2 hours, 57 minutes.
They still didn't get a hit.
12, almost 1,300 people watching at this juncture. But thanks to everybody for supporting the Krug Show. Give us a like and subscribe over here. Give John's channel, John Lund Unleashed, a like and subscribe over there.
Thank you.
We appreciate every single one of you guys. Look, I just saw Tanika Smothers. She just hooked up
oh my God, that's funny.
Fitzgerald. So that's great to see Tanika. But Giants get the win. Good win for the Giants. The offense is still not there, but they found a way to win 3 in a row.
Hey, that's all that counts, man.
Yeah, a
They
W
get
is
the
a
win.
W. Seriously, it's amazing the momentum shift. They were down 5-0 the other night. They, miraculously come back, win 6-5. They win a low-scoring game yesterday. They win one today. It's like they're still not hitting, but they're starting to play better ball.
Yeah,
Starting
they
to get
just,
some wins.
I think Bob's going to be a little. I mean, look, a win's a win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. It's just you got to clean stuff up. They got picked off twice. Fitzgerald getting picked off in the ninth is completely unacceptable. And like I said, I'm not anti Pat Burrell, but these at bats, not only not getting hits, they've just got to have better approaches. Like Willie Adames right now is really searching. He's swinging at first pitches every time. No solid contact. Doesn't seem like he has a great plan at the plate. Relax a little bit. Let it come to you a little bit. But I understand.
Seriously, they're pressing.
Exactly. That's what they're doing, especially late in the game. But there you go.
When do you stream next, John? When do you go live next? Do you stream on Saturdays? Or do you not?
On Saturdays I do one at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock I will tomorrow be on, and we'll discuss this. There's always Niner stuff. There's national things. There's Aaron Rodgers. There's Halliburton. There's tons of stuff. So 10 o'clock. Tomorrow
10 a.m. tomorrow. Check out
Lund
John Lund Unleashed. Give him a like and subscribe. I'm going to be back with you tomorrow morning at 9 with John Chapman is going to stop by. We'll talk a little Niners with John Chapman. And then, I'm not sure what the rest of the Saturday is going to include, but definitely stream tomorrow at 9 a.m. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks to John. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Sharp Corners, Sports Cards, and Collectibles. Thanks to Mancini's. Thanks to LearnKey. Thanks to Claudaddy. The links are in the description for all of our sponsors. Shop our sponsors and support the show. Thanks once again to John. Thanks to all of you. Have a great night, everybody. Giants win. Giants win in 10. 5-4.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.